Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Saturday night streaming. Brain mouth, please cooperate. With me, the red-digged dog. What's happening, babies? What's happening? It's been an interesting start to the evening. We've started the stream with technical difficulties. For those of you who are watching this on YouTube, that part would have been deleted from the VOD. Because, you know, professional and everything. But we're streaming today. Again. And we're going to go find shards. Because we have the Pots and Shards permit. And if we do not get going with the Pots and Shards shop, Lepopo is going to close it down. So today we're going to go and scratch some sand. And find some shards. And talk about my trip to California. That's the plan for the stream, people. I have disabled all discussions with hermits because I've been having audio issues. Do not want to have to deal with any more of those. So if any hermits want to come and have a chat, unfortunately, they're going to get ghosted. You're going to hate to see it, but it's going to be fine. We're going to be out there in the world somewhere. Now, before we go off to find the shards and whatnot, hello? We need to get prepared. I've been kind of getting prepared. I've got a little gigabox here. We've got brushes. We've got potions. I thought we should get some potions of water breathing, right? So that we can do the underwater shard hunting thing. Guys, please remind me, how do we make water breathing potions? Is it with pufferfish? Is it pufferfish? Something like this? I can't remember how to make stupid water-breathing potions. I think it's with pufferfish. Maybe we make a couple of those potions and then we'll head out. It is pufferfish. Okay. Pufferfish. Do I have pufferfish? Probably not. Okay, we're going to have to hunt a few pufferfish. Let's do that. We'll head over to an ocean somewhere and hunt some pufferfish. Now, listen, people. While we're doing this, let me catch you up with what's been going on. How's the audio and everything, guys? Everything good? With the music, I'll turn the music down a little bit here, just in case it's too loud. I actually, my entire system is a mess. My stream, when I look over at OBS, none of the audio bars are working. It doesn't even look like I'm live right now, from my perspective. So, you know, I'm just hoping that everything is fine. Chat is saying that everything is good. Okay, excellent, excellent. Yes, it's been a bit of a weird week, actually, because I unfortunately got hit with some delayed travel sickness this week, which I'm assuming was like a bit of flu or something. I mean, it might even have been, you know, the old C to the O to the V to the I to the D. Who knows? But it was a sort of delayed flu that sort of kicked in about 3 or 4 days after I got back to England. And it was unfortunate. Wasn't feeling too terrible, though. Just had like a really clogged up nose and really foggy brain. And my voice was unrecordable. So instead, I took a bit of time to just chill and sort some stuff out at home. And get some admins and other things organized and just rest a little bit and get through this little 24-hour, 48-hour flu or whatever it was. I was feeling a little bit better by Thursday, so played some Among Us with friends, which was fun. But I woke up this morning and I was like, I've been sick all over this house. Not as in, you know, like actually sick. You know, I'm not physically sick. But I mean, the sickness that I had was all over the house, right? I mean, sure, okay, look. If you've been sick, say you have like a flu or a virus, right? And you like cough in your what the heck is that? Oh, it's in LA, I think. Oh, is that a Vex? The heck? Say you cough in your bathroom, right? Surely those virus bits leave you and go into the bathroom. Now, when you get better, right? If you've coughed your own germs into your house, you can re-germificate. Am I right? Or is it so that once you get over a sickness, your body has become immune to that particular strain? I am not a doctor, okay? I don't know these things. It's probably... Oh, they die. Oh, okay. It doesn't work like that. Okay. All right, I'm probably very wrong about all of this then. Mm-hmm. Not if the pathogen has died. Oh, I see. And they probably die outside of a warm, moist environment, right? And I guess you've picked up some immunity or something along the way. And they don't last very long on most surfaces. Okay. Okay, well, that's just me being paranoid then. Because for some reason in my brain, I was like, okay, this entire house is now infested with with whatever I got on the airplane. And I will now spend the rest of the day cleaning this place. Guys, I cleaned my house from the top to the bottom. I disinfected every stinking corner of this place. I smell like a bottle of detergent right now. Ladies, get in line, babies. You know what I'm saying? That musky odor of Dettol. Yum, yum. Oh, good Lord. Anyway, so yeah, I spent most of the day cleaning today. It was also just because it was a good thing to do just to get past the sickness thing, you know? Because I'd have been quite... I hadn't been doing anything for a couple of days. And whenever I don't do anything for a couple of days, I get really, like, antsy in my pantsy. You know, I got to do something. So cleaning the house is a very active thing that you got to do, you know? You got to be constantly moving and stuff, so... So cleaned the whole place, did all the laundry, you know, did all the bathrooms. Well, there's only 2 of them, but did both of the bathrooms, did all the vacuuming, cleaned the fridge, watered the plants, you know, bog standard household requirements done. So now... Oh, and I vacuumed my Alt key into the vacuum cleaner, because I vacuumed my keyboard to clean it, and then the Alt key got sucked out of it, and then I forgot about it. So it's been a wild day, everybody. It's been a wild, wild day. Yes, many things done. So that's all done now, which is good. How many pufferfish do we... Oh, this is way too many pufferfish, right? We don't need all these pufferfishes. How do we get home now? I'm completely discombobulated. I think it's this away. So yes, anyway, it's been a week, it's been a day. But I am on the mend, feeling lots better. My voice is back on track now, which is good. Actually, I think it's... Guys, I'm completely lost now. I think it might be this way. Yeah, I think it's this way. But I'm feeling much better now. So, ready to get stuck into... Oh, wait, we found the mining mesa. Okay, well, it's not exactly where we wanted to go, but, you know, at least we found our way home. But yes, feeling pretty much 95% better and ready to get back into Hermitcraft, into YouTube, and into Twitch, which is most excellent. We did have a stream shortly after I got back from America, but the old flu bug hadn't kicked in yet, so that was pretty good. But then it kicked in, and then it was not good. But we're good now. So, what's the plan? I hear you all ask. Also, why are there eyeballs everywhere? Guys, what's been going on in this server? Who's responsible for the derpy eyes? We need to cook up some potions of water breathing here, friends, because we're going to be sherd hunting today, which means digging around in underwater drowned zones, which is never a great thing. Yeah, not recommended, but it's going to be fine. So yeah, plan is to make the sherd shop as one of the projects that I'm going to be getting on with for the next couple of weeks. And I want to work on the base. I really want to get this base going. You know, we got the auto smelter now, which is awesome. This thing is going to help a lot. And I want to use it now. But I also want to do some work on the scoot ball field, because I feel like that needs some attention. Before I went to America, we were doing scoot ball. We had the scoot ball test session with the hermits, which was super cool. Also, since then, by the way, while I was away, I got so many amazing tweets and DMs from people that have made scoot ball fields on their own servers. Guys, I'm going to try put it all in my next episode. It is amazing what people are doing out there with scoot ball. It just blows my mind. It is so cool. Scoot ball is way bigger than any of us. Scoot ball is no longer my thing. It is given to you all. Scoot ball belongs to the Minecraft world now. It has been taken, and that's wonderful. People have sent me like automated versions of their scoot ball fields with like auto resetting, and the scoots get healed automatically underwater and whatnot, or like underneath the field when they get reset. All sorts of amazing, just amazing things. So I'm very, very pleased with all of that. It's been awesome to see. Do we want more night vision? I think I just want like another batch of underwater breathing, I think. So very, very cool. So what I'd like to do is just finish off the scoot ball field. I want to like do some redstone in it. I want to add some, you know, like a reset system. I want to build like, well, what we have to do desperately is get the scoot ball field included in the Gigacorp colony, right? Because we worked out that the lore of this thing is that this is what Gigacorp scientists do in their free time, right? Like when they're not working on Gigacorp stuff, they're out here on the scoot ball field playing scoot ball, which is pretty cool. But yeah, we need to incorporate the field into the colony. So this wall needs to come all the way around here. This needs to be modificated and whatnot. This wall needs to come down. So we've got a ton of work to do over there on the scoot ball field, which is good. And then I came up with a pretty tasty little project idea while I was with my family in America. However, it's one of them projects that I can't tell you guys about just yet, okay? Sorry. I know you hate to see it. You hate to see it. But it's going to be great. I've been chatting with a couple of the hermits also about this potential project, and I think I might be cooking with some gas, people. I got a good idea for the last part of the year. So, lots and lots of things cooking and brewing. Hello? Oh, did I already do this? Oh, whoops. But for now, we're going to do pots and shards. Also, I was thinking about the Big T, right? The terracotta shop. I think we need to get that going. Dude, can you please stop scooting in my Giga Hut, dude? Jeez. How much have you eaten today, bro? Good lord. Wait, I need the redstone still. But yeah, we've actually done some shard hunting before, but it's been a while, so you guys are going to have to help me out with this. Anyway, guys, before we go off on our shard hunt, I want to say a massive thank you to everybody who has come through. And also a big hello to all of the regulars. I see you all in the chat. What's happening? Hey, Bjorna, how you doing, my dear friend? And hello to everybody else. Bear is also here. Hey, Bear, what is up, my dude? What is up? Wait, Big T happened without me? What? Okay, I need to be caught up with this. I need to have a meeting with Clea. Guys, thanks for all the love also during this stream that has been riddled with technical difficulties. Let me go through some of these over here because you guys have been super generous. Thank you very much to the Foofs. who off camera sent me a very sweet message and a very generous tip. Thank you, Foofs. Appreciate the message. And the tip, of course. And yes, indeed. Excited to see the GigaCorp officers on the Patreon server at some point. That sounds like a great time. See if we can set up a Rendog Patreon server tour at some point in the next couple of weeks. That'd be awesome. Nuno the Kitters, thank you for the tip. He said, happy Friday in your resub message, brain melt. Oh yeah, it's Saturday, Nunos. Foofalicious here with some biddies too. Thanks, Foofs. And Seneschal also with some bits. Yo, Polar Bear, thank you for the 500 biddies. Was about to ask, I saw you playing Among Us on Impulse's stream. Yeah, we played Among Us on a couple of days ago. That was fun. I was just hanging out because I wasn't feeling too good, so didn't record it or anything like that. Just played. Arkin, thank you for the biddies. Looney, thanks for the biddies. Hell, thank you for the biddies. Foofs, thank you for the tip. Also, you, sir, are the king of technical difficulties. Need to get a notepad so you can write your audio settings. I've got screenshots of it all, okay? It's just some... you know what? Audio issues are for another day. Kitters, Nuno, thank you for the tip. Also, a little bit to cheer you up. Tech issues are the worst. They really are. And CRD, thank you for the £10 TTS and putting money toward a new PC setup. I mean, look, I don't think we need a new PC. I think we need potentially a new sound setup, right? Because clearly the Rodecaster 2 is like a really excellent bit of kit, but I just don't know. I'm not skilled enough to use this thing. I think that's the problem, you know? Impulse is like an audio god, and he knows exactly how the thing how it works, but I can't understand how it technically, mechanically functions. Therefore, I cannot control it correctly. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah. Anyway, Kimmers, thank you for the biddies too. And Peepamoo, thank you for the biddies. Kimmers says, sending good juju your way. Thank you very much, Kimmers. Angel, thanks for the bits too. Guys, thanks for all the subs and resubs too. Ziraka with the 22 months. Was my birthday today. Yo, happy birthday, Ziraka. Happy birthday. Elodia's here with a gifted sub too. Very kind of you. Kissed Kiosk Machine also with the 4 months. Bjorna, 101 months. Dude, how good does 101 months look? Oh my goodness. Let's get some noises going. Also, Samarital with the 90-month OG resub. Sammy, what's happening, baby? The OG's in the house tonight. Glad you're back and feeling better. Thanks, Sam. Thank you. Always a joy to see you in the chat. We got another OG resub here from Coffee Queen with a 48 months in total. Pickles is back at it with the 4 months. Kill Dolores with the 17 months. Ski Hassel with the 15 months. Stellaris with the 32 months. Maddie G with the 2 months. And Kick to Brum with the 4 months. Tatino with the 4. Daisy Daddle with the 59-month OG resub. Get the camel out, people. Kimmers is back at it with a 76-month OG resub. How did that happen, Kimmers? Do not ask me, baby. I don't know. Tree Winner with the 14 months. Evercool with the 8 months. Ancient Debris here with the 22 months. Ancient Debris with 22 months already. That's crazy. That's almost 2 years, baby. Almost 2 years. Arkin with the 6 months in a row. Lady D with the 7 months. Tillob with a brand new subscription. Also, thank you very much, everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Much appreciated. It's many shout-outs indeed, Arkin. Unfortunately, we spent the first hour in technical difficulty, so unable to shout out. You know? C48 also with a 15 months. Demama Cat with the biddies. Miss you so much. Thank you, guys. Funkmaster Iron with a 17 months also. And Toss a Coin with the brand new Prime sub. Brand new subscribers. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Thanks, guys. Much love, much love. Okay, shall we get going? Do we have everything that we need? Are our potion... Oh, wait. Yeah, this is what we needed, right? We're doing the water breathing thing. Have we got everything that we need, though? I think the only thing we... Bro... These space rats, guys, they are sassy. Not only do they scoot all over your stuff, but they've got sass. Outrageous sass, I tell you. Wolfen says, Rendog, you went live a few minutes after I raided out. Sad. Oh, that is sad, my friend. That is sad. Okay, we need Hello? Excuse me? Hi. Yeah, you. Don't you side-eye me, bro. How did this thing get down here? I'm confused. Donkeys do not walk over... Oh, it fell off this thing. Yeah, you're an idiot. You're stuck down here forever. How do you feel? Yo, Lee's Pizza, what's up? You really do hate to see it. Okay, guys, let's get organized. What do we need here? Let's take a bow, some arrows. Okay? We've got the brushes for brushing. That's it. We don't need anything else. Maybe some torches, just a stack of torches. Maybe an extra bed in case I derp. Also, let's take an ender chest in case I derp. Also, we'll put this in here. Bro, seriously? He's giving me the side eye wherever he goes. Look at him. Stupid donkey face. Okay, this is good. We don't need much for sand brushing. Do you know what I mean? We just need to sleep and whatnot. Okay. I guess all we need to figure out is where we're going. Maybe some... Bro. Hi. Oh, you want a carrot. I understand. Okay, good. Enjoy. Maybe some armor is required over here. Shall we take... No. Give it back, please. That's not for you. Oh, goodness. Guys, I'm so rusty. What am I doing? This is terrible. I've forgotten how to play the game of Minecraft. Okay. We're good. We got the we'll keep the... You scooted again? Dude! We'll give it to the cat. Scoot is nutritious, although it tastes not great. It tastes like Scoot. I mean, you know, Scoot's a terrible flavor if you've ever tried it. Anyway, Foofalicious, 25 gifted subs. What in the stinking heck? Thank you, baby. That is very, very kind of you, Foofs. Thank you, thank you. By the way, guys, you know what I've noticed? It sounds like the notifications are not working, right? Or are they? Oh, they are. I don't know. That looks like they're working. I don't know. Thank you very much, Foofs. That's so kind of you. Thank you, as always, for gifting so much to my community and keeping the numbers around here on this channel so up. If it wasn't for you, we'd be... it wasn't for you and many others who give such generous sub bombs on this channel, we wouldn't be anywhere near that 750 gold mark, which we have... We're a little bit above now. Thanks to all of you amazing sub bombers and, of course, all of you fine people who decide to subscribe here on the channel. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. Are the game sounds loud? Are they loud, guys? Should I turn them down a bit? We should sell the scoots. Yeah, we should. I don't know who has the scoot permit. Somebody does. I can't remember who it is. Okay, let's go find ourselves some fresh chunkage. I think we'll go all the way over to the Wither Skeleton Farm. And we'll go find some fresh sherd places. Sherd sites? Is that what they're called? A sherd site? I don't know. They probably should have some sort of official name for them. By the way, while we're fiddling with sand, guys, I want to tell you a little bit about my trip to America, to Northern California, because I had a really great time. I've got some pictures to show you. We're going to have a picture show and tell. No people in them, of course. Well, there are a couple of me, but obviously not my family. So mostly just landscape. So not the most exciting pictures, but we'll have a look at some pictures. And mostly so that I can preserve the trip in my mind, because it was a very magical trip with my family that I don't ever want to forget. So it'd be nice to talk through it a little bit. By the way, Tevya, thank you for the 14 months, and Peter Pull Rabbit with the 11 months. Get the camel out for these fine people. But yeah, I got to say, what I saw in America was truly magnificent. I've never really seen anything like that. I've seen some really great landscapes and natural environments throughout South Africa and Europe. But, whew, man, some of the places I saw in Northern California were pretty mind-blowing, gotta say. Kim is here with some biddies too. Hope you were able to get some Twinkies while in America. I forgot about the stinking Twinkies. No! I was supposed to try the Twinkie. Oh, I forgot about it. We were so busy, like every day was completely ram-stacked. Also, it probably wouldn't have been good to introduce my niece and nephew to Twinkies, right? We're trying to keep them healthy, you know? Once you try a Twinkie, that's it. You're done. All right, so here we are. Let's just take a screenshot of our... What's the screenshot button here, guys? I can't remember again. F2? There we go. Okay, so that's our portal. We're at somewhere around here. Can someone remember these codes for me, please? 13700-ish and minus 543. I guess we can just go this way. Okay, before we get into story time, friends, help me with the shards. This is not something that I do regularly, and I've only ever done it once, and I believe we did it together when we were playing the hardcore series on Twitch. Do you guys remember this? We were trying out some all advancements hardcore, and we did the shards in that series. But I don't think I've ever found a shard other than in the new trial chambers. I don't think I've ever actually found one in Hermitcraft. I might be wrong, but I don't remember brushing sand in the previous season, like, ever. We got to find the trail runs. Okay, yeah, that's what I remember. We got to find the trail runs. They can only be found in desert wells, desert temples, and warm ocean ruins. No, and the runs, right? The trail runs or whatever. I guess easiest to start with is going to be just looking around here for some runs. Let's start with an ocean, right? Probably going to be the easiest. Trail runs... Okay, where trail runs spawn in Tagas, right? Is that right? Maybe we don't worry too much about the trail runs today, because that just feels like a lot of work. And I want to chill today, man. I want to chill and just brush some sand. Although the trail runs is a lot more... Oh, ruins. Sorry, trail ruins, not runs. Taiga and jungle. Okay. Well, there's a jungle here. Let's see if we can spot one in the jungle. Trail runs. Wait. Trial runs. Trail ruins. People. We got to look for terracotta blocks inside of the biome, right? Keep your eyes open, guys. The melons are deceiving. Trial runs. That's it. Taiga and giant birch. Is this a giant birch? I guess we can check on biomes. Old growth birch. What about old growth birch? Jono, what's up, brother? Miss you too, man. Yeah, guys, went to see my brother Jono as a part of our trip to America in Los Angeles, and it was just a really awesome time. We'll talk about it a bit when we find something to scratch. An actual trail run would be amazing. Can we find them in jungles? Trying to read the chat at the same time, so it's kind of hard. Yeah, the trial chambers drop 2 new shards. I've got, like, I want to get 3 of each, or 4 of each shard, right? To make a that's enough to make like a pot. But I'm going to charge a lot for them, right? Because, ooh, hello. Shall we pop our head into here real quick and see what's up? Hello. Anything good? Missed me. Saddle. We'll take the saddle. Didn't miss me. Look along the river lines in jungles. Okay. Keep your eyes open, people. If you see something, shout. Is there an easier way to find these places? I don't think so, right? Do you get maps? Some of you guys don't think that they spawn in jungles? Well, that's not very useful. Hallowed Animations here with some proper information. The trail ruins are found in jungle, old-growth birch forest, old-growth pine taiga, old-growth spruce taiga, snowy taiga. Chunk base? Yeah, you could do a chunk base, but, you know, it's kind of boring. You gotta earn it, people. You gotta earn it. That's why you get elytra, that's why you make rockets. Like, if you're gonna use chunk base, just use creative then, right? We'll find something. Don't you worry, guys. We'll find. Just going to take some time. You know, we need to learn some more patience. We need to have patience in this world, friends. We need to enjoy the minutes, not try and compress everything into as little time as possible, you know? Easier to be on ground level? Probably, right? Because you're looking for, like... Especially, like, in the jungle biomes... Although in the jungle biomes, they're going to be under leaves and stuff. It's going to be really hard to find. We're not looking for the trial chambers. No, we're looking for trial ruins. Okay, tell you what. Let's switch tack. We will try ocean. Let's try ocean for a bit. See what we can find. Night vision will let us see deep into the ocean. There we go. You've never used a night vision potion in Minecraft before. Welcome to the all-seeing eye. Ooh, look at this cute little village over here. That's adorable. It's the all-seeing eye. Right, we need to find some drowned things. Warm and cold ocean specifically. Okay. Got it. Shall we run through this birch biome real quick? Yeah, we'll take a run through the... this is old birch, so this is a good place to try and keep our eyes open. Okay, we can start our story time here too, people. 1 second. Do I have my pictures up? Let me get the pictures up. Okay. Okay, I need to get the picture thing started. Wait, we press this button. So, let's have a quick chat about my trip to Northern California. Because it was awesome. And I'm going to add this. Is it this thing? Can you guys see this? Why is this not working? The heck? What is this? That does not work very well. Hold on. What if I do this? No, that's a camel noise. This? Okay, there we go. Okay. Here we are. That's me. This is me on the Heathrow Express on the way to my flight to Northern California. So that's where we're going to start. You can see in the eyes and in the lips, it's been a painful day of traveling. It's been a long, long day. And ready for sleep is what this face tells you. By the way, it took another hour or so before I even got anywhere near a bed when this snap was taken. But I do like to take a picture Maybe it's a little bit morbid, but I do like to take a picture whenever I travel somewhere far. I'll just take a selfie. You know, maybe it's like the final selfie. Do you know what I mean? In case something goes wrong with the plane. I know it's a bit morbid, okay? But look, it's for my mum. All right? It's for mama. So my journey began getting to Heathrow. Now, to get to Heathrow from where I live takes a while. Ooh, it's a new kind of doggy. Nice. It's at least 2.5 hours on the train. On multiple trains, in fact, to get to Heathrow. And in fact, when you add in the waiting times at the train stations for the trains, also, it adds up quite quickly to 3 hours, 3.5 hours. On top of that, I've got to get to the train station from my house too, right? So my journey to America started with, generally when I travel far, I will generally try and have everything packed the night before, so that on the day of I try and make my travel day as stressless as possible. Being someone that has traveled a lot in my life, I've learned how to make actual travel day as painless as possible. Because especially if you have to travel across the country to get to airports and whatnot, the time that you spend traveling really adds up quite fast. And you can end up really spending a lot of time sitting in buses and trains and stuff to get to places. So I've got everything packed and ready to go the night before, but I decided I was going to take as little as possible. Ooh, war motion. So I only took a suitcase and a backpack. Now there's a bit of a twist to this tale, because my suitcase was, half of my suitcase was dedicated to my nephew, who has been learning to play Magic the Gathering. And I decided to take a whole bunch of cards so that he and I could play Magic together while we were in our downtime, So half the suitcase was Magic cards. That didn't leave much space for clothes. So I had to choose 5 shirts, 5 undies, 5 socks, a couple shorts, costume obviously for swimmage. And then the rest I shoved into a backpack, basically. So I just had a backpack and a suitcase. That was it. And I took my laptop too, of course. So everything got packed the evening before, because it just makes life so much easier. So the next day all I had to do was get to Heathrow. That was the mission. Get to Heathrow. Now, generally speaking, when you live far out, right, from a major airport, if you want to get to the airport, if you want to make sure you get to the airport without something happening along the way, you got to leave real early, right? So you could time your journey so that you take this train and this bus, and then you're at Heathrow at exactly this time. But say your flight is at 9, right? And you plan your route to get there at 5. If anything goes wrong along the way, then you miss your flight, right? You have to really hope that public transport does not fail you if you're going to time it like that. Very risky business. So I generally will leave 4 to 5 hours earlier to make sure that if anything goes wrong along the way, right? If there's been any transport, any public transport explosions along the way, that I'm safe. So I left hella early. My flight was at, I believe, 10 in the morning. So I left the day before the flight and stayed in a Premier Inn. Ooh. Oh, no, that's a bit of coral. So that I was at Heathrow ready for the flight in the morning. So I left the day before the flight, right? Which is something that I also like to do if possible. It depends on work and stuff, right? But I will leave like a day earlier if possible, because then you get to like not panic about missing the transport and whatnot. And also you can just chill, you know? You can get there later. I got there, I went and had a nice steak somewhere, you know? It was my, you know, in case it was my last ever steak. I always have a steak before I fly, by the way, just in case it's the last one, you know? Guys, we all have our rituals when we travel, okay? Don't judge me. So yeah, I left the day before, but now for me to get to the train station from my house, I got to take a taxi. So it all started with the taxi ride to the train station. And then it took about, it took about 2.5 hours or 3 hours to get to Heathrow itself, because I have to make a train change at some point, and then I had to wait like 30 minutes at that station for the next train, because out here in the middle of nowhere, the trains are not that frequent. So sometimes you get to a station, you have to wait like a while till the next one. Is this a thing? Guys? Is there some suspicious sand around here? Bro, can you not go for me, please? So the day before my flight, I got to Heathrow pretty early, which was quite nice. Checked into my Premier Inn, had a lovely steak, was just chilling. Oh, there's a buried treasure map here. Okay, I'm going to ignore it, though. We aren't here for buried treasure. Although we do sell conduits, though. Hold on. Okay, guys, we're on a secondary mission. We're getting pots and shards, but we're also getting conduits, okay? No suspicious sand here. It looks like it. Or did I break it? Do I realize air travel is one of the safest ways to travel? I do. But we all have our weird quirks, right? Everybody's got weird quirks here and there. And I totally understand that air travel is extremely, extremely safe. I've been flying back and forth from England to South Africa between 2 and 4 times a year for the last 15 years. So I understand. It's fine. But, you know, I just have things. I just have rituals that I do. It's called a just in case, exactly. Anyway, is there any suspicious sand here? Doesn't look like it, guys. This was like a very small, teensy-weensy one, right? No suspicious sand here, unfortunately. Anything in here? Okay, let's crack open this map. Get ourselves a conduit, too. If possible. So, yeah. Got to Heathrow a day in advance, which is always super helpful. There's no X on this map. This is a bug map. Nice. Get out of here, map. You suck. Ooh, there's a temple. There's a temple. Okay, this is good, right? We might get our first shards here. I believe there are shards in desert temples, right, guys? I remember in our hardcore series, we did find some shards. Back here? Is that where they are? Shards, not shards. Yeah, I know. Were they back here? There. There is suspicious sand. Also, let's go get the loots. Anything good down here? Ooh, a dune armor trim. Double dune armor trim. Nice. We'll definitely take that. Another saddle, too. Never mind. Quadruple dune armor trim. And saddles, too. Very nice. The rest is just rubbish. That was some lucky finding right there, man. Very, very nice. We take that every day of the week. All right, awesome. We found our first bit of suspicious sand, and it will go down from here. We just need to dig all of this downwards, which is great. So we can finally just chill here, friends. Let's set up a little workstation here, shall we? Get all of this jazz going, in case we need that. We don't have to go underwater either. We can just be chilling. Very nice. Let's get the brush out. Oh, we're going to start picking up a whole bunch of rubbish, though, aren't we? Okay, hold on. We need, like, a rubbish chest, too. Wait, we need, like, a loot chest and a junk chest, right? Let's put this in here. Let's get a loot chest out, too. Okay, so this will be good stuff. This will be everything that we discover on this particular adventure together this evening. Perfect. All right, let's start brushing. Okay, so where are we at with the story? God, we haven't even got in the plane yet. So, I left a day before the flight. I got to Heathrow a day before, but I stayed in the Premier Inn, which is way outside of Heathrow because it's much cheaper that way. Next morning, my flight was at 10 a.m. So I was up at about 5 in the morning. And unfortunately, I got to do a little bit of complaining at this point. Because okay, and look, when you're staying in a Premier Inn, right? Like, you're not expecting, like, top quality, you get what you're paying for. You know what I'm saying? When you're paying, like, $50 for a room, you know, you can't be too picky. However, I gotta say, my room stunk like cigarettes. But, like, the cigarettes that had been deeply embedded into the, you know, the carpets and stuff. And I really struggled to sleep, I'm not gonna lie. It was really gross. It was really gross. Like, so I didn't get very good sleep. So at 5 o'clock, I was kind of awake anyway. So I just got up and had some breakfast, and then I went to Heathrow. And, I kind of like airports. I like roaming around and, doing some shopping and whatnot. Hey, we're respecting the remnants. What the heck, dudes? We got a sherd with the first brush? Okay, I got to buy a lottery ticket. Dudes, first brush sherd. That's got to be lucky, right? Surely, that's got to be some sort of a lucky omen of some kind. Yeah, love to see that. By the way, Paysumum, thank you for the 10 gifted subs. 21 Novas with a 24-month, 2-month resub, and Kristen back at it with a 9 months. My brother's back at it here with a 53-month OG resub, and Crafty Red Dragon with the 5 gifted subs. Thank you so very much, guys. Nerf Pro never dies with the biddies. Also, have a good stream, Ren. Keep up the amazing work. Would cheer more, but just dropped $200 on a new sword. Dude, sword, way more important than cheering to me. So that sounds awesome. Thank you, my friend. Kim is with the biddies also. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Yay, we got a fair shirt. Nice. So anyway, didn't sleep very well because of stinky room, unfortunately. I was going to complain, but then I thought to myself, don't be that guy. This was an old building. Clearly, this has been a hotel for like many decades. And, these older buildings in England where people smoked in the rooms for like 20 years straight, during the 50s, 60s, 70s, whatever. You're just not getting the smell out of those rooms. Doesn't matter how. I guess you can change the carpets. Guys, sherd into diamond into sherd? What is going on? Two different sherds too. Very nice. Hey Vectron, 50-month OG resub. 50 months have come and gone. They certainly have, my dear friend. Though the next 50 now sees its dawn. Now home from... wait, hold on. Guys, Vectron's written us a poem. Check this out. 50 months have come and gone, though the next 50 now sees its dawn. Now home from the land of the free, the diggity dog is back amongst this hermity jubilee. Let our shenanigans begin anew with our wonderful friends, old and new. Here's to 50 wonderful months, Ren. Love your face, my dude. Thank you, Vectron. Wow. Dude, your poetry is just getting better and better over the years. Thank you, man. That's awesome. Welcome back. So yeah, anyway, I was going to complain about the stinky room, but yeah, what you're going to do, what they're going to do, Like, basically what happens is you just make whoever is working behind the counter feel bad. There's nothing they can do about a stinky room, right? So complaining to them doesn't really do anything. By the way, another shirt. Guys, we've gone sherd, diamond sherd. Okay. I'm definitely buying a lottery ticket this evening at the end of the stream. By the way, another sherd. Wait, did they improve the drop rates of sherds? This is... We got the skull sherd too. What the heck? Guys, have they improved the drop rates? I feel like that's what's happened, right? Maybe this isn't as amazing as we think it is. Because the last time we did this, we were on a different patch. I feel like the drop rates have been improved. Either that or we're just getting stinking lucky like crazy. Anyway, so the day of my journey to LA began, and the flight was perfectly on time. That was another sherd, by the way. That's another one. The desert temples are better than other places. Okay, well, interesting. They have a higher drop rate in desert temples and wells. Okay, so maybe we should just look in this desert. We're in like a really big desert here, so let's find a ton of sherds in the desert and temples. I mean, we're going to be selling these things, right? So we need a lot of stock anyway. Anyway, flight to LA was on time, and we were getting ready to board, and got to fly on my favorite plane, which is the flying skyscraper. Which is just a monstrous airplane. I believe it's the Airbus, right? It's the double-story one. Oh, that's not Boeing. That's Airbus. The Airbus A360 or whatever it is. Is that what it's called? A380? Yeah. Yeah, this one. Let's see here. Yeah, this one. The double-story Airbus. Have you guys been on this plane before? I've flown on this many times because there's an Airbus that goes back to South Africa, which I often fly. But if you've never been on an A380, you've got to give it a go at some point in your life. It is... It's the kind of machine that makes you appreciate how incredibly amazing human beings are. And it also makes you realize like how pointless war is. If we could just like focus our energies on doing cool stuff, we would be such an advanced, amazing species. It is literally a flying building. It is so massive and so heavy that you barely feel this thing taking off. Like it barely takes off. I mean, it's so stable, right? That you hardly feel the takeoff and the landing. It's really quite insane. And it really is like walking onto a giant skyscraper, a flying skyscraper with wings. Absolutely amazing. I'm trying to think of who I sat next to on the plane, because usually I only remember people I sit next to on the plane if they annoyed me, if they were annoying. Generally speaking, most people on planes are usually very nice and friendly, so you don't usually remember who you sit next to unless there was like some sort of drama that occurred. Hold on, let me think about it. Who did I sit next to? Oh, I think I just sat next to on my left was a lady who just had her headphones in the whole time, and on my right was another lady who was just very quiet, and we didn't really interact with each other at all, other than I was in the middle. You hate to see it. We didn't really interact that much other than to get up to go to the toilet or whatever. But on the A380s, even in economy, you have like a lot of space. And the chairs are very comfortable. The TV screens are really big. It's a very, very comfortable plane to fly in, for sure. And I, highly recommend anyone who ever has to do any long distance travel, if you have the option for the A380, do it. It's awesome. The flight was approximately 10 hours and 30 minutes. And this gets us onto our next picture in my little slideshow. Look at this. So there was me the day before the flight on the Heathrow Express. Got to the Premier Inn to sleep the night away. Got on the flight. The flight went. I've got nothing to report for the flight, I'm afraid. How do I go to the next picture? There we go. Nothing happened on the flight that I can talk about. Food was great. I slept. Watched some movies. I think I watched the whole of The Office, US Office Season 1. I remember. But this was my first sighting, I believe, of North America, Northern California. We were doing a loop coming into land at San Diego. I always get those two mixed up. So this was somewhere near San Diego. And this was my first look on Northern California and the immensity of the country that is known as America. Your country is amazing, people. This blew my mind when I saw this. The immensity of it. I mean, in a picture taken on a phone, you cannot capture the majesty of it, right? But it truly is, it truly takes your breath away when you see this sort of view. So that was my first view of North California. And what a view it was. It did look very... I remember the first thing I thought was, like, this is going to be very hot. This is going to be a very, very hot holiday. Because from up there, it looked very warm indeed. Turns out, California is so massive that you can go from really nice temperate conditions in the north to super hot conditions in the south in one state. Pretty insane, because when I landed in San Diego, it actually wasn't that hot at all. In fact, it was about 24 degrees, a little bit like English summer. And I was very pleasantly surprised. I think we can find some sherds here. Now, San Diego was our very first stop, and the plan for the trip was to meet up in San Diego. So I met my family in San Diego, and we rented a car, and then the plan was to drive from San Diego to Los Angeles to go and visit Jono. And along the way, we would stop at various must-see Northern California places, right? Now, I want to say a quick shout out to my brother's wife who organized the trip for us. About a year ago or so, my brother said to me, hey, do you want to do a trip through Northern California next year? And I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. I'm a streamer, YouTuber. I didn't even think about it. I'm always busy, always working. So I was like, yeah, do it. Whatever, book it, you know? Book it and send me the bill is what I said. And my brother and his wife worked out this amazing journey for us. I had no idea, like, where we were going to go. I just had zero clue. I just showed up. And the first leg of the journey started in San Diego. Now, I don't know much about San Diego. But, wait, is it San Diego? No, not San Diego. San Francisco. Right? Is San Francisco the one in the north? Sorry, I got the Sands wrong. I mean San Francisco. San Francisco, that's the one. We flew into San Francisco. Now, my understanding of San Francisco is very limited. What I know about San Francisco is... San Francisco, yeah. Okay, San Francisco, that's the one. San Francisco is the show... Is the Golden Girls set in San Francisco? Those of you guys who are older than 20 years old won't even know what I'm talking about right now, okay? So don't worry about it. I know about the Golden Gate, right? I know about the trams, the hills. Oh, that's in Miami? Okay, never mind. Maybe I don't know anything about... Oh, Full House, that's the one, right? Full House is in San Francisco, that's right. Yeah, full house. But yeah, I really didn't know much about San Francisco, right? What I knew was that it is a very awesome city in America and also one of the most expensive places to live in the world. Is it in the world or in the States? I think it's one of the most expensive cities in the state, right? If not the most expensive, or is it San Diego that's the most expensive? I don't know. Either way, I braced myself. I was like, okay, we're going to a very expensive city. Let's try watch the wallet a little bit, you know? Luckily, some of you very generous and amazing viewers did help me out with a little Rendog holiday fund before I went over there. So I did have some spending money that I did mostly spend on food for my family and gas for the vehicle. So thank you guys for that. But what I thought San Francisco was going to be was not what it was. Does that make sense? I had no idea what to expect from San Francisco, and what I got was not what I expected. I don't know if that makes any sense whatsoever. But what I will tell you is that San Francisco is amazing. What a beautiful, awesome city with awesome vibes. That's what I want to point out about San Fran. The vibes were top notch, and on top of that, the architecture is so awesome because there is kind of like a shadow of the past running through the city, right? You can feel that San Francisco during like the roaring 20s and 30s and then the 60s must have been an incredible place to be, because you can feel there's so much Art Deco scattered throughout the city in the buildings themselves that, like I said, right, it has like a shadow of the past there, and it was so well kept. The city was so well looked after. We took the trams, of course, to go to the lake. We went and had a look at Alcatraz. We didn't go to Alcatraz, but we looked at it from the shore. And we also went to like a chocolate factory thing. Do you guys know what this is? It's like a very I'd never heard of this chocolate brand before, but obviously it must be really famous in San Fran because it was like everywhere. In fact, we got a voucher for the chocolate factory from the tram. Yeah, the Ghirardelli's. That's it, Ghirardelli's. Yeah, Ghirardelli's. Okay, I have never heard of this before. I've never heard of this brand before. Is this the one that we did? So we took the tram to the where you get to see Alcatraz, right? And then we had this ticket for Ghirardelli's, and I was like, family, I think we should just go do it, right? Who knows? I've never heard of this brand. Anyone want some chocolate? Anyone want some ice cream? Let's go do it. Let's go have some ice cream at Ghirardelli's. And then we walked all the way along the lake or whatever it is, the sea, all the way to the Ghirardelli's factory. And it's basically, if you've not seen it, it's amazing. It's like they made their own little town, right? And within this town are like various different Ghirardelli shops and things. And I think it must have been like the old factory building or something. But it's basically like its own town. It's really, really cool. I didn't actually get a picture of it. Ghirardelli's? It's a hard R? What? I don't... Ghirardelli. 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 A Ghirardelli. Is that better, guys? We went to Ghirardelli's. Is this Italian? Is this an Italian thing? Let me see if I can find a picture of this for you guys on Le Googles, because it is really cool. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so check it out, right? This is it. The Ghirardelli factory. It's all of this. This whole thing is the Ghirardelli. Really amazing. Really, really cool. Now, it was cool. However, Uncle Rendog made the mistake of offering everybody ice cream at Ghirardelli's. At Ghirardelli's. Uncle Rendog, of course, didn't have any internet and was unable to check the prices of Ghirardelli's. And let me tell you something, my friends. Ghirardelli's, it ain't cheap. It ain't cheapardelli. You know what I'm saying? This ain't a snow cone. This ain't a 99 cents flake ice cream, people. Okay? We went to the ice cream bit. And we had some ice cream. If I recall correctly, I'm going to try to remember the pricing right now. I believe the pricing was something like 20 something bucks for a banana split. It was like, I think it's $26 for a banana split. Which was, yeah, that was something. That was something. Oh, also, I've complained about this in the previous stream. It was about $7, $6.50 for a Starbucks coffee in San Francisco too. So yeah, that was Uncle Warren's first taste of spoiling the family with with some food along the way. Definitely learned a hard lesson and at Ghirardelli's. But what I will tell you is that ice cream was good. That was some tasty ice cream. Not gonna lie, 10 out of 10 ice cream. But I you know what? I can guarantee you it's the most expensive ice cream that I've ever bought. I've never bought ice cream at that price ever before. It was worth it though, and the family really loved it. So that was our trip to on the trams to Ghirardelli's. We also, when we first got to the hotel there in San Fran, we went and had lunch at like an Irish pub, which was super cool. And this Irish pub had like I mean, it felt like I was back in England. It was so weird. It was like a very legit looking Irish pub. And we had like fish and chips and like Irish food there. Was San Fran like an Irish place? But yeah, I don't know if it's like an Irish area or not, or if it's like a traditionally Irish place, but it was a really awesome, an awesome lunch. Top quality. That was actually the first, and it wasn't really that cheap either. The fish and chips were maybe like $25 or something. But this is what I'm going to say about America in my experience in California anyway, right? Yes, it was crazy expensive. Like everything was really expensive. Okay, Irish pubs are just a thing across the US. Okay, cool. So it's not really like yeah, the gold rush has brought people from everywhere to California, right? That makes sense. Yo, by the way, Chaos Crafting, thank you for the 10 gifted subs while I've been ranting and raving over here. Bite with the biddies. Did you take a Waymo in San Francisco? It's really crazy. I don't know what that is. Oh, yes, I got to talk about that. Thank you for reminding me. Yeah, that's something I need to talk about. But anyway, let me keep on track here. The one thing that I will say about America, yeah, the food is super expensive, but top quality food. I'm going to put it out there. We ate at like a few places. There wasn't a place that I ate where the food wasn't top quality. The food was excellent in America, and I can't say that about other countries. Just saying. The food was like super generous. The portions are absolutely ridiculous. The ingredients, and maybe it's just because in California there's a lot of fresh vegetables and stuff growing there, right? Like everything is so fresh. Everything is cooked really well. Like the service industry is amazing. Like the waiters and stuff are so nice. Eating out in California for me anyway, was like a very pleasant experience. Each time was really, really cool. Now, during our time in San Fran, we did see some crazy things called Waymos. And man, I didn't know that this was even a thing yet in the world, okay? But they looked like this. The first time we got there, we saw these things on the roads. And my brother and I were like, Google Maps, right? We thought this was like Google Maps. Like a Google Maps thing. No. Dudes, these are driverless cars. These are driverless taxis that you can use an app to call to your location, and then they drive you around. There's no driver in the damn thing. This blew my mind. I am a small town English boy, okay? I live in small town England. This technology is ridiculous in my mind. I'm not entirely sure how well they work, because at one point there was a Waymo stuck in a cross road, and there were people, and you know what? It wasn't the Waymo's fault. It was the people's fault, because the people came and like stood around it. They were looking at it. It was like a crowd that gathered around the Waymo, and it was asking very kindly. It was like, please step away from the vehicle so that we can continue our journey. It was so funny. But yeah, I don't know if this technology is ready yet, guys. Especially in San Francisco, the traffic is crazy. And the trams, like, how do these things function with the trams? Because the trams are like kind of weird. The trams are run by humans, so they're not predictable. It was really cool to see, though. And this was another point that I felt about America. That I think the media gives America a really bad rap. And, you know, when you're outside of America, generally speaking, the media about America is that, like, it's a bit economically run down and things aren't looking so great and so on, right? That's the messaging that we get. But when I got to America and I see Waymos driving around San Francisco in a city that was immaculately kept, with an insane amount of really nice cars everywhere. Every second car is a Tesla. Like, I'm thinking to myself, this is not a country that is struggling. This is a country that's doing real well. By the way, the San Francisco airport is amazing. Absolutely amazing. A huge, massive, incredible airport that functions really, really well. I don't know, man. My feeling was America isn't the superpower of the world for no reason. This place is pretty ridiculous and pretty awesome. Anyway, so we saw the Waymos, and that was kind of weird. Didn't have the courage to go in them, though. I don't know. I'm a small town boy. A little bit too scary for me, I think, to get into a driverless taxi. Maybe after a couple years, I'll give it a go, once the technology is a little bit more established. But yeah, San Francisco, I gotta say, guys, one of the most amazing places I've ever been. We were only there for a couple days. I mean, if you live in this place, you are so lucky. It is really... What a wonderful, wonderful place to live. The weather was so perfect. Everything was just fantastic. Look at this. Madness. So yeah, that was our San Francisco leg of the journey. And it was wonderful. Now, the plan was to drive from San Francisco to Los Angeles. Somebody was asking what the journey was. Shall we, let's Google Maps this real quick. And I shall show you exactly the plan that we had. Also, this stream is about sealing this trip in my memory, by the way, because I want to remember this journey. It was really cool, and I want to remember it forever. Okay, let's get a snippet here of Cali. Okay, so this is California. or at least some part of it. By the way, California is massive. And the plan was to start in San Francisco. Whoops. Let's use like a better thing here. Start in San Francisco, then travel to Yosemite National Park. But we kind of did it this way. We went through the national forest to Yosemite. And then I believe we drove through here to here to Santa Barbara and then to Los Angeles. That was kind of the journey. We also stopped here at Pismo Beach. Wait, where is Pismo Beach? I think Oh. Actually, yeah, that's about Pismo Beach over here. I think. Yeah. Yeah, that was the journey. So we went from San Fran to Yosemite to Pismo Beach to Los Angeles. That was the journey. I mean, California is so massive, right? Like, you can't do it all. You can't do it all, you know? Unfortunately. You get to do it again, though, right? Again and again and again and again. So anyway, our next journey, the next leg of our journey took us to Yosemite National Park, which I got to say is one of the most incredible natural things that I've ever seen in my entire life. In South Africa, we have a lot of beautiful natural environment too. In the Drakensberg Mountains, we have huge mountain ranges that extend as far as the eye can see. But Yosemite had like something pretty unique in it that I didn't expect. That kind of blew my mind. But on the way to Yosemite, we drove through the redwood forests of Northern California. Now, the redwood forests of California are something to behold. This just looks like trees. It's very hard for me to explain what this experience was like because I don't think there is a camera in the world that can capture the redwoods of Northern California. Some of these beings are over 2,000 years old and have been on this planet doing their own thing, not caring about humans at all, since BC times. And I had never in my life seen trees of this size. It's very hard to capture the scale in a picture. The best way for me to do this is to try and draw it for you, okay? So this tree over here, these were kind of smaller ones, but just for illustration purposes, a human is like maybe like this. So this is these were pretty big, but these weren't the monsters, right? But just for scale for now, this is like the size of the tree. So pretty big tree. When you drive through this place, the highway like weaves in and out of the trees. There are sections of that highway where you drive through these redwoods. Redwood Highway. I think it's like, let me see if I can find some pictures for you. Oh, yeah. Here's a great picture of it. Here's a great picture of it, guys. Check it out. This is what I can remember this so well. This is what the road looks like. You know when they say, like I was saying earlier, when, you know, people say, oh, America's a bit run down. No, it's not. The roads were beautiful. Not a single pothole. All painted. Beautiful blacktop. It was amazing. This is what it's like driving through the redwood forests. It was the most amazing drive. And it took maybe an hour, maybe 2 hours of this. Just redwoods as far as you can see. Massive, massive redwoods as far as you can see. I think I've got some more pictures of the redwoods here. Oh yeah, this was a walk that we went on. through the Redwood Forest. So we parked up and went for a beautiful walk. This was quite a famous walk, actually. Can't remember exactly what it's called. But we were going into like the older parts of the forest now. And now the trees were getting bigger. So I can actually remember this corner that we took because we had lunch here. Like we took a break to have some sandwiches. But now you're talking about like the tree being like this. Okay. The trees were getting bigger as we got deeper into this ancient forest. In and amongst the forest too were some really beautiful trees that were engulfed in moss, and the sun was just like making the canopy just glow. You know, the leaves were just like glowing up. Is it night? Oh, hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Let's just get safe here while we go through some of these pictures here, friends. Yeah, so really, really pretty trees. This walk was about 10 miles or 13 miles, I think. So, you know, it took us a couple hours to do the walk, but it was quite an easy walk through the forest. Lots of people walking too, and the paths were kept immaculately. This was another tree that was just glowing in the sunlight, right? Like the sun was just... This was like a canopy open in the redwood forest, so the sun got through. And it was just this tree just looked like it was neon. So I had to get a picture of it. It was really, really pretty. Now we're talking about the big trees. We got to the trees that are ancient. And this is one of them. This tree is probably between 1,600 years old and 2,500 years old. And when you see a tree like this, again, it was very hard for me to capture the scale in a picture, but I'll try and draw it. I reckon it's like this. Maybe not that big. Maybe like, no, you know what? This thing was insanely massive. It was maybe like this. Like this. There we go. That's about to scale, I would say. So, you know, it would take 20 people to holding hands to more people to like actually surround this thing. It was insane. 30 stories high. So high like you can't see to the top of it. Yeah, 380 feet tall is the tallest one. And to be honest, it was just the most magnificent. These trees were just incredible to me. And they really, you know, they remind you of how short your life is, right? Like to a redwood tree, a human life is so short. Like 80 years to a redwood is... I don't even know if it grows like an inch in 80 years, you know? But it really did, these trees really did remind me of how short life is and how we, you know, we should be aware of that and we should enjoy every single minute that we have on this planet. Because those redwoods are going to be there way past when we're gone. Way past. Is this a thing or is this just a wall? Guys, I thought I found like a thing? Didn't I? There it is. We've got another bed. So yeah, absolutely amazing. The redwood forests were really, really awesome. And we just drove through there on our way to Yosemite. Our next stop was going to be Yosemite, where we stayed in a chalet there for quite a few days. I think we stayed in Yosemite for like 3 days, 3 nights, I think. Because there was so much to see. And there was so much to do there too. It's It's such a massive park that it takes you about half an hour just to drive from like one side of the park to the other, you know, just to do touristy things. And I think on the slideshow... Oh, no. Incorrect. Yosemite comes next. Guys, I think I might have messed up the journey, actually. Man, we did so much that I think I might have messed up the journey. 1 second. Before we went to Yosemite, we actually went to... man, what was this place called? Hold on, guys. I'm checking the map. Dang it, I can't remember the name of the place. No, it was way before Pismo Beach. Way before Pismo Beach. Oh, I wish I knew the name of this place because it was so awesome. Oh, wait a minute. Wait. It's coming to me. Starts with a J. Starts with a J. All right, Proudly, thanks for listening. We'll see you soon. It's like Jamaica. No, not Jamaica, but kind of like that. It's like a, oh, it's on the tip of my tongue, guys. It's not Jamaica, but it's maybe a name of a town from Jamaica. Something like that. Oh, dang it. Trinidad. Jono's got it. My brother Jono's got it. That's the one. Trinidad. That's the one. Okay. We went to this town called Trinidad, guys. Let me see if I can find it on the map. Okay. I messed up the journey. Everybody. We have to redo the journey. Let's redo the journey real quick. Here we go. Okay. So. Yeah, that is way up north, exactly. We started in San Fran. We went up to Trinity. Whoops. And I think that's where we drove through the Redwood Forest. This is the Redwood forests are here, right? In this area. Yes, this is the Redwood Highway here. So we drove from San Francisco to Trinidad, which, by the way, is one of the most beautiful places that I've ever seen. And if I was going to live in America, I would live in Trinidad. It was absolutely amazing. I'll tell you more about it in a second. We then came backwards, right? We then went backwards to Yosemite, then to Pismo Beach, and then to Los Angeles. So I completely missed an entire stop. We went north first. There we go. That's the route that we did. So, next stop was Trinidad, which, like I said, was one of the most beautiful places that I've ever seen. Mostly because it was such an incredibly beautiful natural environment with a really temperate weather. It had like, it was actually kind of cold, but it had this sort of sea, coastal like chill to it, right? But it wasn't like normal coastal. It didn't feel like a normal coastal environment, because in Trinidad, or at least on that entire coastline of North California, the biomes are really, really strange. It actually reminds me a little bit of Minecraft biomes, right? In fact, I think I captured this in the picture, in the next picture. Yes, here we go. So here's the main beach at Trinity, right? This to me is a Minecraft biome. You have a beach, which the sand is kind of like, it's sea sand. It's very nice, fine sand, but it's kind of black because I think it's volcanic. But you have sea, and then you have beach, and then you have like taiga biomes, which is I've only ever seen this in Minecraft. I've never seen this in reality before. And the first time I walked onto this beach, I was blown away by the natural beauty of it, how few people there were, how there was no litter, there was no pollution. It was an immaculate blue flag beach. And I think the first thing I said to my brother was like, I want to live here. This place is amazing. I took a couple of really interesting, we went on like a walk along the beach. And there were some very beautiful moments along that walk that I try to capture. But this place was one of the most unique biomes that I've ever seen in reality. Look how beautiful this is, right? There were a couple of tourists and stuff that were walking there, or maybe locals that were walking. But for the most part, it was very quiet and very, very beautiful. And this was me. I found a little spot to sit and look through this little gap in the ocean. We took a walk up this mountain also. And I thought to myself, if I lived here, I would come here like every morning and have a cup of coffee before I started recording. The water was so still, it was like crystal. You could see your face in it. And it truly was one of the most beautiful parts of the world that I've ever seen. We finished our time in Trinidad on the beach at sunset. And the sun just ripped through the sky and set the clouds on fire. And it was a very, very special time. We just rented a little Airbnb. It was, we each had a room, and we just spent a couple of days in Trinidad just enjoying the nature and recovering from jet lag and traveling a little, from the travels and whatnot. And every day we would just cook and eat together and barbecue and go play on the beach and go for walks in the forests and stuff and along the beach front and whatnot. And we had like a really, really awesome time there in Trinidad. But yeah, if I lived in America, I'd live somewhere there. Somewhere along that coastline, I think, is where I would live. It just, something connected to me when I was there. My heart felt full when I was there. I was like, man, this is the place that I would live if I ever moved to America. It was so cool. After that, of course, then we started to make our way to Yosemite. So it was a very jam-packed trip, I must say. We saw an absolute ton of California. Of course, we didn't see anywhere near as much as is actually there, but I think we did manage to see like quite a lot of the highlights. Including, of course, was the next really massive stop at the Yosemite National Park, which, if you've never been, you got to see it. Truly mind-blowing geological amazingness that your brain cannot fully comprehend what's going on, You look before you at this beautiful nature and your brain is like, lol, what? Polar Zoe, thank you for the 11 months in a row. And Rocket Rose, thank you for the 9 months. Thank you, everybody, for all of the love that's been coming through while I've been talking nonsense for these last couple of hours. I hope you're enjoying the trip down the trip memory lane. Speaking of which, next stop, Yosemite. Now, again, the picture doesn't really do it justice. But just believe me when I tell you that this rock is enormous. Bigger than anything your eyeballs have ever seen from inside of a car, that's for sure. And when you know, as you're getting into Yosemite, this is what you see. But to get to your chalets, you got to drive and wind through these crazy canyons that the road follows. And this really made me think, like, again, how amazing America is. To have been able to build the roadway that connects all of the different areas of Yosemite National Park is truly insane. I don't know how long it must have taken, but this is the kind of views that you get. You go around these bends with no barriers and a sheer drop of like a kilometer down, just straight down. This is like the road network that you take to get around this park. I'm seeing all of these things and it's just bringing me back to being there again. Wasn't that long ago, so it's easy to remember. But yeah, you go from the very top of these mountains, like a kilometer up, all the way down to these beautiful stretches of road that run along the riverways. And it is a terrifying drive, but at the same time, an incredible feat of human engineering and just breathtaking everywhere you go. You also have these massive tunnels that just dig through the mountainsides. And again, it just reminds you of how amazing America is to have been able to do this sort of thing. Here's kind of like a map of all the roads that go up and down. You go at the top when you're driving around the top, you're at 6,000 feet when you're up here, and you go all the way down to like 2,000 feet, Really, really insane. But yeah, these were like some of the views that we got. We did a lot of hiking, of course, and we stayed in like a really nice little chalet. And we just had a really comfortable stay there. We bought all of our food before we got there. Like we went shopping at a Walmart or something, or I think it was called California Grocers or something like that, before we got there, and we just stocked up on food for like a few days, and we just cooked food every night while we were there. Because it was so hard to get in and out of the valley. It would take you like an hour to get from your chalet to back to the highway again. But yeah, this is like the big famous rock there. This is the half boulder or whatever it is. This thing, again, the picture doesn't really, it really doesn't justify the size of this thing. But to me, this feels like a giant meteorite that crashed into the earth. It must be a couple of kilometers high, at the very least. I don't even know if I can draw a stick man small enough to show you how big this thing is. I mean, you're talking about like the size of this. You're talking about like, I don't know. I can't even draw. Even that's probably too big. That's too big. Half that thing. Actually, that's probably about right. It's absolutely enormous. And really just breathtaking. It just takes your breath away when you see this sort of landscape, Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Oh, yeah, and they were just very, very... Oh, no, this is actually not Yosemite. I do apologize. This is back at Trinidad. Again, with the amazing taiga biome going into the beach. Okay, I messed up the order of the pictures. But there we go. There's a look down into the Yosemite Valley. And the first thing that I thought to myself was, like, when the pioneers arrived in this part of America, how did they have the courage to, like, push forward? Did they not just get to this part and think, maybe we should go back to England. You know? Seeing this makes me understand where the American, where American culture comes from. The culture of never giving up, of being so proud of your country and what you have. Because truly what you have is remarkable. From an outside perspective, this might as well be like a CGI'd landscape in a video game, right? Like, how is this even real? Absolutely amazing. We took the hike to the waterfall, which in summertime is like a raging torrent, but or at least in the wintertime, I think, or at some point in the year, it's like a raging torrent. But when we got to the main waterfall, it was just like a small little waterfall. But we stood on these rocks, and you just get blasted by the wind of the water, like coming off the rocks, and it made this really pretty rainbow. And I got a picture for my mum of the whole family standing here. But this was like a really cool hike. It was pretty far and pretty hard, a pretty hard hike, lots of uphill. I think we probably went up about 1,000 meters or 1,000 feet to get to this thing. But really, really pretty place. And just stunning. So next leg in the journey after Yosemite. I mean, you know, what more can I tell you? You know, traveling is a very personal experience. And generally speaking, it's almost impossible to accurately describe to people your travels. And to be honest, it's kind of a boring topic for most people, you know, like, because it's such a personal experience. You know, traveling is such a personal experience. But I hope that these pictures have, at the very least, given you a little taste of what I experienced about my trip to Northern California. And it's not quite over yet, because next up, we went to Pismo Beach, which was a very famous beach location, it seems, during the 60s, I want to say. And it was really, really awesome, actually. And we'll talk about it in a little bit. But I do want to say a big hello to Realgar for the 62-month resub. Hello, my dear friend. How you doing, Realgar? Long time no see. I hope you're doing well, brother. Amzi is here with the 6 months in a row too. Thank you, Amzi, and welcome back. So yeah, next up on the journey, we went to Pismo Beach. And I didn't really get, most of the pictures from Pismo were family pictures, so I don't have any of those. But this is a picture of the main Pismo beach section. You have the dock here. And then a stretch of, I believe, 17 miles of coastline. Here's an artist rendition, I guess, of Pismo Beach. Okay, well. Over here. Can we get like a nice big picture of this, please? That would be nice. Here we go. Here's like a more realistic picture of it, I think. Very nice. So yeah. Very awesome seaside town. And this beach goes forever. It goes for absolute ever. Beautiful water. Beautiful beach. There's clam chowder there. We didn't have the clam chowder because it was like $30. We had to be kind of we couldn't just couldn't eat out everywhere, you know. There was 5 of us, so eating out was very expensive. We had to be a little bit careful, but we did have ice cream, and we had barbecue. We ate at the barbecue joint, which is like on the main strip. We chose barbecue over clam chowder because we had clam chowder in Trinidad. But it's a really awesome beach. But you know what? Strange Americanness I experienced in Pismo Beach that I want to talk about while we do some sherding over here. So, on Pismo Beach, after you walk about 3 or 4 miles away from the town, you get to a section of the beach where people drive their RVs and their camper vans. But I'm not talking camper vans. I'm talking like 5-bedroom RVs, which, by the way, is something that I'd never seen before. I'd never seen like really massive RVs in real life before, you know? Like the vehicles that I saw in America blew my mind. I've never seen such huge vehicles in my whole life. But people were driving their RVs and using their trucks to like drive their caravans or whatever, their mobile homes, like onto the beach. And there were hundreds of them. And it was a really weird contrast for my brain, because I was thinking like this environment is so beautiful and pristine, yet over here on this part of the beach, you have these massive trucks that like park up there overnight, I guess. This part of the beach was so like over humanized by this sort of activity that the sand was basically half sand, half like barbecue charcoal, you know, like fire charcoal. And it just seemed like such a weird contrast to me of like beautiful nature and just humanity just polluting it. Because, you know, let's not kid ourselves. Vehicles leak, right? They leak gas, they leak oil, they leak all sorts of brake fluids, all sorts of things. Not to mention like RVs disposing of their, you know, septic tanks and all sorts of things, and fires on the beaches. I mean, just like mass pollution, basically, you know? It was very, very strange to me. And that was a bit of Americanness that I had not experienced in real life before. And my brother and I were talking about it. And you know what it is? I mean, just put all the damage to environment and all, you just put all of that aside, right? What this activity is and what it represents is freedom, right? Being free to do whatever the hell you want. And that is the American way, right? You fought for your freedom, you won your freedom. And now, if you want to take your RV to Pismo Beach, you're gonna do it. That's America for you, baby. It's freedom. And I guess it's kind of foreign to me. This incredible level of freedom is quite foreign to me because I live in England, where it is, of course, a free country, but it is a lot more controlled. You know. You could never drive an RV onto a beach and have a barbecue in England. Just wouldn't happen, you know. It's a much more sort of Big Brother country, which, by the way, don't get it twisted, I really like, because I value safety and I value things just working. And if I have to give up a little bit of freedom for a safe life, for me personally, I'm happy with that. But yeah, that gave me a taste of, you know, you've been hearing it your whole life, you know, like America's the land of the free and the home of the brave and all of this. This was the moment where it became tangible to me, seeing this example of freedom on Pismo Beach. And it was fascinating, and it was awesome. And also, yeah, I'm pretty sure you're probably not allowed to do it either. But I don't know. There at Pismo, you know, there were official like poles in the ground to show you where to drive the vehicles. I don't know. Maybe those people, those were freedom people who were just like, we're going to do this. We don't care. And even if the municipality said no, they were just like, what are you going to do about it? This is a free country. I will do whatever the hell I want. Anyway, that was awesome to see. And Pismo Beach was a very, very beautiful place. Very touristy on the weekends. That's what I noticed. Oh, you know what I also experienced for the very first time in my life? Hydraulic car. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. Let me see if I can find a picture. Yeah, here we go. Lowriders, baby. Lowriders, babies. These bad boys. We just had our barbecue at the barbecue joint on the strip, and we were walking back to our Airbnb, and this super cool cat, he was just, dudes, he was chilling to the max. He had a lowrider like this. He had the hood down. He had his elbow out of the car, you know, just like leaning against the, leaning out the window. He had a blinging watch on, and this thing was just going ja-jump, ja-jump, ja-jump. He was stuck in traffic. Dudes, the man's stuck in traffic, and he's just hitting the hydraulics. He's just going to jam, playing like some sweet Dr. Dre or something. It was really sweet. I'd never seen anything like this in IRL before. I'd only ever seen this in GDA. So that was awesome. That was awesome. We also walked past a dude who was playing AC/DC really loud, and he just had like a picture of Trump, like a sticker on the outside of the window, so it looks like Trump was sitting in the car with him. And he had the other windows rolled down, and he was just playing like AC/DC, trying to like play AC/DC louder than Dre. It was like Dre versus AC/DC. Like it was an experience. It was something. And my brother and I looked at us and we were like, we're in America. We're in America right now. This is America. Dr. Dre and Donald Trump. Oh, man. Good times, good times. So yeah, Pismo Beach was really great. Really great. After that, we made our way to California. Wait, we were in California. We made our way to Los Angeles for our final stop on the tour, which was to go and spend a few days in Los Angeles and visit my little brother Jono, who lives there. And on the way there, we drove through the driest, most deadly place that I've ever seen in my life. I have never seen desert like this that we drove through. Is that a UFO? The heck? It took us about 4 or 5 hours to drive through this desert, and it was once again a sight to behold. The first bit of desert was this golden yellow as far as the eye could see, because it was just like this grass growing on the desert, but then eventually it just became pure desert, right? Just straight up desert. And once again, driving through this part of America reminded me of how insane America is. Because even though you are in a desert, every like couple of kilometers, there is a massive field of like almond trees or olives or grapes for like 3-4 kilometers squared farms, which means that water has somehow been aqueducted into this part of the world from somewhere, just so that they could grow crops there. And this went on for hundreds of miles. Oh, it's the Central Valley. I think it might be the Central Valley, yeah, that we drove through. And this was another reminder of the greatness of America. I was like, man, this place, these Americans are so insane. They were like, yo, this is desert. We can't grow anything here. Sorry, what's that? Hold my drink. Give me a couple decades. I'm going to just build an aqueduct out here. You want water? I got you. I'll get you water. Don't worry. Man, you Americans are crazy, man. It was amazing to see. I must be honest. Ooh. Look at this. This is a really lucky find here, right? This is a sherd factory for us, but these are normally underwater. This is awesome. So yeah, really amazing to see the agriculture infrastructure in that part of America. Just mind-boggling. Like, how did you guys do it? How did you get water, fresh water, into the middle of a stinking desert? Why didn't you... Wait, here's my question. Why didn't you just go somewhere where there was water? That's my question. Just go to where the water is. Why bring the water to you? Anyway, on that drive, you could definitely feel the temperature picking up too. You know, you could feel like Northern California, the weather up in Northern California is so nice. Oh, just so pleasant. You know, anywhere between like 20 and 30 degrees, light breeze. Oh man, so beautiful, beautiful weather up in the north. But as you start to head toward California, ooh, baby, you feel that you can feel the temperature change. You're in the car though, right? So the AC's on. But the moment you stop for like for fuel or for coffee, and you get out the car, you're like, okay, now we get into the hot part that we were expecting. Although I will say I think the weather gods were with us on our visit to Jono, because it actually during our time visiting Jono, it didn't really get that hot, and a couple of days after we had left, Jono sent us a screenshot of his weather app, and it was like back up in the 40 degrees Celsius range. When we were in LA, it was, I don't think it got over like 30 degrees while we were there. Maybe it got to a max of like 35. So we got super lucky with the weather there. But yeah, we took the drive down there from Pismo Beach all the way along the coastline. I think it was the 1. Is that it? The highway 1 that takes you through Santa Barbara and what were these other places? Like all those famous places in the north. Is it? Oh, geez, I can't remember the name now. Those like beach places, not Miami, the other ones. Anyway, our mission was to get to LA in one piece, and also not to melt alive, you know. So we drove through like all the beach side, we drove along the coast all the way there. Ooh, a sniffer egg, nice, very nice. And yeah, along that coastline, definitely saw some real crazy stuff too. Hold on. I want to realign myself on the Google Maps. So where are we right now? We're over like there's LA. We're over here now, I think. In this area. Yeah, Santa Barbara is over here. We basically drove the 101, right? Like all the way along this. From Pismo, we took the 101. All the way through here. All the way along this beachfront along here. Then we started to get to the big city bits, and then you start to realize like how massive the greater California or the greater Los Angeles is. It's absolutely huge. We've got to Santa Monica, and then eventually into LA. Very interesting thing that I saw here also while we were driving on the 101 along the coastline there. The highway, the 101 highway. Wait, can I show you guys on if we put the little man here? Whoops. Hold on. Let me see if I can show you this. It's so insane. Yeah, this is a good spot for it, actually. Check it out. If you've never driven along this highway before, look at this. Yeah, this is a great example. The highway drives right up against the beach, which, by the way, whoever designed this didn't think about the future. This highway is going to be underwater soon. But you're driving along this highway, right? And this is actually not the greatest example because there's a parking lot here. In fact, I remember this driving past this parking lot. This might be a better example here. Where there's no parking lot. Yeah, this is a great example here, right? So check it out. This is the highway, right? And there's just beach here. And people just come and park their cars and their RVs and they just surf along this whole coastline. There's just people surfing up and down the whole thing for hundreds of miles. It was amazing to see. It was so cool. Like, that's what you guys do in California on the weekends? You just go and surf along the highway? Insane. America's an insane place. So awesome. So awesome. You guys have a tough life out there in California, hey? It's a tough life. I'm starting to understand why California is so dang expensive. Because it's so dang awesome. But yeah, that was something that I noticed on the drive to LA. Like the highway surfers. Very interesting. I never thought I'd see something like that. But you know what was really nice to see? Because it was people enjoying life outside of their houses. They were disconnected from their screens. They weren't stuck on TikTok or shorts or whatever other stuff we get stuck on. Rendog streams, for example. But nice to see them enjoying life out there, you know? Going and enjoying the weather and swimming in the sea and surfing and having a great time. And that was nice to see. I like that. I like that. Now, Los Angeles was... I don't know if I have words in the English language to describe what I felt in Los Angeles. I think, like, overwhelmed is a good start, right? You know, over the years, Jono's always told me about, like, how massive LA is, and we've often spoken about it and about how, like, immense it is. But you truly have no idea the true size of LA until you actually go there. At one point, Jono took us up to the top of, like, a viewpoint where you could pretty much see north, south, east, west. And in whatever direction you look is just city. Just city. Wherever you're looking, it's just city for as far as the eye can see. The road network in LA is amazing from a engineering perspective. You know, I don't know, 7-lane highways just running through the city like veins, connecting all the various parts of the city together. And even though the traffic was pretty bad, I gotta say it wasn't as bad as I expected it to be, you know? It was bad, but it was, to me, it was like pretty average big city traffic. I think whenever you live in a place, you tend to exaggerate the negatives. I certainly do that when it comes to England, and I used to do that in London too. But all in all, I guess we didn't get stuck in a real LA traffic jam, so I guess I didn't really experience the actual rage that probably occurs. But it was very overwhelming. I felt very small and completely out of my depth. You know, being a small town boy, like I struggled in London, you know, when I go back to London these days, like it's overwhelming. But man, being in a city like LA, that was very, very overwhelming for me. But not overwhelming in a bad way. Don't get me wrong, overwhelming in a good way, you know? It took Jono 2 hours to do 20 kilometers. Okay. Yeah, I haven't experienced that pain yet, so that would probably make me hate the place. But LA was great. We had a really cool time. We actually stayed like kind of outside of town. Jono found us a pretty cool little hotel to stay in. The cheapest hotel that we could. I mean, talking about expensive now, you know, we don't want to talk about the prices of LA, because all of the funds that I had put aside for the holiday they all just got dumped into LA. That's where they all ended up. The hotel itself was like a 2-star hotel, but, you know, cost the same as like, you know, 2 of the other places that we'd stayed in so far, just for like a couple days. Horrendous. But a couple of memorable moments in LA. We stayed like kind of outside of town, in like the nice part of town, or at least I thought it was nice. And maybe Jonathan can help me out in chat. I think we stayed in Pasadena or somewhere near Pasadena, right? I say Pasadena like I know what I'm talking about. It was a really nice suburb that we stayed in, like really big, wide roads, massive, you know, like you'd have like a house here, big road house here. Everybody had their own roads or their own houses. It was South Pasadena. We stayed in South Pasadena. And I got to say, if I ever lived in LA, that's where I would live. It was really, really nice there. We stayed in Alhambra. Really nice, clean roads. Very nice people. The people were really friendly there. Really, really nice, nice people that we spoke to. We had some really tasty food too. Some Mexican food. Funny story. We were all like, well, I wasn't worried, but some of my other family members were very worried about the food that we were going to eat, right? Because if you're not familiar with Mexican food, you know, it is a cliche that Mexican food is really spicy. Funny thing is, Mexican food isn't really spicy. Well, obviously there is spicy Mexican food, but for the most part, you have to order it spicy. It doesn't just come spicy. You know what I mean? So some members of the family were panicking about the heat level, you know, the spiciness. But Jono was like, guys, don't worry, I got you. Jono took us to this really awesome taco joint in LA, and it was like a Mexican restaurant or like a side street restaurant that looked to me like and maybe Jono can confirm, looked to me like it was run by a family. And it's kind of where the locals eat, right? You know what I mean? It's like not a tourist spot. It's like where the locals eat. And we had some burritos on the first night that we got there. And I got to tell you, man, that was hands down the best burrito that I've ever had. Like, what can I tell you? People who make burritos in England, they have no idea what a burrito is. To shame. All the so-called quote-unquote Mexican takeaways in England, you all suck. You do not know what a burrito is. And it was really great. We also had this weird, Jono introduced us to this weird drink. Yo, Jono, what was that drink called, dude? We got a taste of of something that we'd never tasted before. And it was this really weird, like milky substance. Horchata? Horchata. I think that's what it is, right? And one of the kids said that it tasted like medicine. But to me, it just tasted like delicious. It was so good. It was the taco. Okay, the actual place, if you guys want to go and if you're in LA and you want to go give them some business on our behalf, it is called the Taco Azteca in Glendale and Horchata. Taco Azteca. But yeah, this drink was called horchata, and I think it's made from rice. It's a rice drink. And one of the tastiest, most refreshing beverages that I've ever had. Like in a super hot climate, you have a burrito and a horchata. This is like perfection. What a perfect combination that was. Amazing. Loved it. This was a really great time for us also because this was the first time that we all got to spend some time together, you know, Jono and me and my the rest of our family. We hadn't seen each other. We saw each other like earlier on in the year in South Africa. But over the course of the last 5 years, we really haven't seen that much of each other because of COVID and lockdown and, you know, all that nonsense. So this was like a really great time for us because we just got to be together as brothers and family like we would have normally been doing if we hadn't been locked down for 2 years, you know? And it was just really, really awesome for us to all be together. We were also like together there in a chilled environment. We had Jono who knew exactly, you know, where to go in LA and what to do. So like we didn't have to panic about like, you know, getting to places or asking, you know, touristy questions. Like Jono had our back the whole time, so we were super relaxed. And that meant that we could just like enjoy being together as a family, you know? And it was really awesome to see Jono, you know, he's so proud of like, of LA and of his city and of where he lives. And he introduced me to his neighbor, who is an absolute legend. Really awesome part of LA where Jono lives. Lives in a really cool house that sort of looks over a valley. You sit on Jono's balcony and just like look over the section of I don't even know what part of LA that is, but you have this beautiful view into this like deserty valley. And just behind Jono's house is like a really pretty walk where you like walk through, you walk on the top of this massive mountain that looks over downtown Hollywood. And we all went for a walk with Jono and his dog Dweezil. Went for a lovely long walk along there, just catching up and, you know, just being together again after so many years. And it was really, really great. Great couple of first days that we got there. Did we feel any earthquakes? No, we did not. Didn't feel any earthquakes. Yeah, we got to meet Dweezil, who is one of the most awesome dogs that I've ever met. I think Dweezil could like smell the genes, like the GENES, you know. He knew that we were family immediately, you know. Like as we got to the door, Dweezil was like, oh, I know that smell. It's family. And Dweez just like loved all of us instantly. He was so awesome. Jono has like built himself a music studio in his house. And by the way, Jono is like a professional musician, if you don't know. I mean, at this point, Jono is basically... Where's my other shulker box? Jono is basically like another hermit, right? He's made music for so many hermits at this point in time. That a lot of the music that you hear that is Hermitcraft related was probably made by Jono, in case you didn't know. And you know, we've all been following Jono's journey when he first got to LA up until now. And you know, when he first got to LA, he was working out of a very janky little studio. You know, just a keyboard and a computer. And when I got to Jono's house and got to his where he works now, he has created what can only be described as like a true professional musician studio. It is amazing. Like, it is such a vibe in Jono's studio. You can just feel like the moment I walked into that studio, I just wanted to make music. And on one of the first nights that we were there, everybody else was like a little bit tired. But I decided that I was... so they went back to the hotel to sleep and I stayed with Jono. And we just hung out a little bit. And hanging out with Tim too, who was there too. And we were just sitting on the balcony, having a couple beers, looking out over LA, catching up, talking absolute nonsense as we always do. And at about 10 p.m., we got the urge. We got the urge to make some music. And I was like, yo, Jono, fire up that guitar, baby. I want to play some riffs. Let's do this thing. Because Jono's got software that can make your guitar sound like anything, you know? Like any distortion or any sound. So I was like, Jono, make me sound like Townsend, baby. Deadhead Townsend guitar, go. And so Jono plugged in Deadhead Townsend guitar. And I started riffing and I just made like a little riff, you know? Just like a silly little detune. I don't even know if... Wait, hold on. Let me get... I don't know if I can remember it. We gotta get the guitar out for this one. I don't know if I can remember it though, but it was just something like... I don't know, something like that, right? Like, basically sounded like Audio Slave. It was like an Audio Slave riff. And I was just like riffing on the guitar, right? And Jono was just like working away like a professional musician would do. And within like 50 minutes, we had like a banger. He put the drums in it. He recorded bass on it, like over the top of that bad boy. And it was in this moment that I was like, man, making music has got to be one of the best jobs in the world. Is there anything better than what we're doing right now? Like making music with my brother, even in that studio of his, just him and I just riffing off of each other. Man, if I could do that for a living, I would just do that every single day. So, man, Jono is doing the most awesome job that there is. Making music, making art like that, where human beings have to work together to create something that moves others. I mean, I would argue that there is no greater job than this in the world. Awesome. Absolute highlight of the trip for me was hanging out with my little brother and making some music with him. That was a really special night. Unfortunately, by the way, guys, I messed things up because I thought that I was leaving a day later than I had to leave. I didn't check my tickets properly. And luckily, I checked my email like a couple of nights later, and you know, the airline was like, "Yo, you're flying back to London tomorrow. Are you ready?" And I was like, "Wait, what?" I thought I was flying the day after that. So John and I had planned to spend another day together making another song, but unfortunately, I'd messed up my schedule. We lost a shulker box somewhere, by the way. Hey, that is a Cub Fan. Where's my shulker box, though? Unfortunately, my voice mod does not work at the moment, Cubs, so cannot voice mod at the moment. What else can I tell you? Oh, so we did some other stuff too. We went to Universal Studios, and then I had to leave, and the family went to Disney after that. But I went with them to Universal Studios. Now, the only other theme park that I've ever been to, or like major, massive theme park that I've ever been to, is Disneyland Paris. Cub Fan! What's he up to over there, bro? He's being super suspicious. He's flying around with a mace. Scary times. But yeah, we went to Universal Paris. By the way, if I had any money left, that's where my money ended up. In Universal Studios. Universal Studios took the rest of my money. So if you're ever going to go to Universal Studios, I'm just telling you now, okay? It's like going to a casino. You take $500 and you just say to yourself, this is gone. This is gone. I'm never getting it back, but I'm going to have a good time. And that's it. You can't think about it too much, because if you do, you won't go. You know? Anyway, the ridiculous, ow! Why you do this? Why, Cub? Why? Oh, Cub Fan's voice is also broken. We're not alone. Nice. What's up, bro? Yes. And then? Oh, he just came to say hello and smack me with the hammer? Nice. Thanks, Cub. Oh, it's so nice to be back on Hermitcraft, guys. Nothing ever makes sense on this server, and that's just how we like it. So anyway, Universal Studios, insane. I mean, Disneyland Paris is the only other place that I've ever been. I went to Disneyland Paris to play a Magic tournament once, many years ago. Went to play a Grand Prix in Disneyland Paris. So, you know, I've experienced the old theme park, but I must say that Universal Studios was amazing. And you know what? Even though it was insanely expensive, it's worth it for sure. It's definitely worth it. It is. I don't think I'd do it again though, but like as a first time experience, it's 100% worth whatever the price is, because it was pretty magnificent. I'm not gonna lie. The first place that we went to was the Harry Potter land. Obviously, this trip was a lot more for the kids, right, than for the adults. But you know, Universal Studios is like, it's for the adults too because of all the cool like movie related stuff there. But we decided, let's go to Harry Potter first, right? Because that's kind of cool. And then guess what? Guess what Uncle Warren does? Uncle Warren's like, hey guys, why don't we go get some every flavored beans and some chocolate frogs and some butter beer? You know, it's on me. It's on me, guys. Yeah. Chocolate frog, just one giant chocolate frog. I don't know. I think it was $23 for a piece of chocolate. The every flavored beans were like $25 or something. The butter beer was like $17, I think. Ooh, man. And this was within the first like 10 minutes of walking into Universal Studios. So it was in this moment that I realized, okay, the last of my money goes here, and it's fine. I cannot express to you the joy that the kids had when they got their chocolate frog and their every flavored bean, you know? So it was worth it for sure. Gotta say though, whew, man, those prices are nuts. Yeah, the chocolate frog was delicious. It was just chocolate though, you know. The butter beer was delicious, but it was just like sugar. But you can't put a price on childhood memories. That's what I'm telling myself for the rest of eternity. Now, we went on the Griffin roller coaster, which was pretty awesome. Pretty tame as far as like a roller coaster goes, though. It's a roller coaster for kids, right? So you can't make it too crazy. But then we went on the ride inside of the castle, which I'm not entirely sure how to describe this to you. I'm not entirely sure exactly how it works, but number one, however it works, it was a feat of engineering. This ride, I need to talk to Scar about this, in fact. We're going to have a stream with Scar that I can talk to him about all the Universal Studios rides. I want to know more. But the castle ride in Harry Potter is amazing. It is one of the most awesome experiences that I've ever had in a theme park. And I've not been to many theme parks, bear in mind. But, you know, to get to the ride itself, you walk through Hogwarts. You walk through the passages of Hogwarts. You walk through the classrooms. You know, you meet some of the characters along the way. And it takes about 20 minutes to like get to the ride itself. And I actually I like the Hogwarts experience more than I like the ride, if I'm honest. Because I'm a huge Harry Potter fan, and I read Harry Potter when I was in my teens, and it inspired me. Harry Potter inspired me to try and be a writer. Like, I tried to write my own Harry Potter, which wasn't very good, but Harry Potter inspired me to become a creative. Like, I honestly believe that it is those novels that made me want to create art in some way or form. So walking through Hogwarts and through my teenage memories of Harry Potter was amazing, and such an incredible experience that I loved so much. Now the ride itself. The only way that I can describe this ride is that imagine a little roller coaster surrounded by screens. So, you know, in the past you had you have the rides where you have like a massive screen that wraps around you, your peripherals, and then the seat moves. Sure. Yeah, that's great. This ride, the seat doesn't just move. It doesn't just shake, right? It moves. It goes up, it goes down, it goes sideways, you go upside down, you go left, you go right, and then all around you are screens. Massive, like round screens that engulf your vision wherever you're looking. And I must say, it made me feel very, very sick. I'm not very good with rides. I'm not like a ride person because unfortunately I struggle with motion sickness. I hate it so much because I'm not scared of the rides. I really want to go on the rides. I'm desperate to go on the rides and roller coasters and things like that. But I get really bad motion sickness to the point where like I can't move and I just puke everywhere. And I was expecting this to be like a kid's ride, you know? But it was, wow, motion sickness level 10. Just warning, if you ever go to that Harry Potter ride, some people also got sick on that ride. Okay, it wasn't just me. I mean, it took me about 5 hours to recover. I felt so ill for a long time. And unfortunately, it was the first ride that I did there, right? So, you know, I felt sick for like most of the time there. But, you know, I didn't say anything. I didn't want to ruin the experience for the rest of the family. So I just grinned and bared it and just got on with it, you know? What you gonna do? You know, it's probably the only time I'll ever go there. I'm not gonna complain. I'm just gonna keep going, you know? But yeah, so it was a crazy experience, and what an incredible feat of engineering, I must say. Like absolutely amazing bit of engineering. I don't know how, just incredible. The kids absolutely loved it. I killed some sus sand, dang it. They had a blast, so that was awesome, and they were very happy about that. After that, I said to my brother, I was like, yo, can we just do something where I can just sit for a little bit just to try recover a bit? I don't want to ruin the day, you know, but just maybe we can just do something a little bit gentler for a little bit. So we went on the original classic Universal Studios bus tour, which takes you through all of the different movie production areas of Universal Studios, and takes you through some of the classic ones too, like when you go through the Jaws thing, where you drive past like a lake and Jaws jumps out at you, and then we went into like the flooded subway where you're on this tram and you go into a subway and literally the subway gets flooded all around you. It is actually amazing, and it was built in like 1989. I want to talk to Scar about that one also because it's amazing for how old it is. Absolutely mind-blowingly epic. I loved it so much. The tour was so good. Actually, the tour made me feel a little bit better also because it's kind of static. Although it gets to the new parts of the tour are all CGI, and I gotta say, I really didn't like the CGI ones. I felt like they were really lazy. I understand that there is a lot of like very smart programming and engineering that goes into those CGI experiences, but it's nothing like a real subway that floods and then resets itself and has been doing so since 1989. That's like real engineering, you know? Like the CGI things are just like, I don't know. Maybe the younger generations like the CGI over the analog stuff, but for me the analog stuff was the cream of the crop right there. You know, that was the good stuff. After that, we went and had lunch at we went and had a Krusty Burger at Krusty's. Oh, and by the way, if I hadn't spent like all the money on chocolate frogs and every flavored beans, whatever like coins I had left went to Krusty the Clown. But we went and had a Krusty Burger, which actually, strangely enough, made me feel a lot better. I think if you do have motion sickness, and this is just a little hint for those of you guys who might experience it in the future, a tip that I can give you is just eat. When you are ready to eat, just force yourself to eat, because it's really hard to eat and you don't want to, and you might even like have a gag reflex and stuff. But if you can just get some food down, I find that it does tend to like settle the sickness a little bit. You get some sugar into the bloodstream and some energy into the bloodstream and whatnot, you know, and that can help you feel a little bit better. Yeah. At the beginning of this whole thing, I did say that all the food that we had in America was excellent. I gotta unfortunately say that the Krusty Burger was terrible. That restaurant is the food is absolutely terrible. I mean, it's funny because I think I said to my brother, I was like, do you think this is actually it's terrible because Krusty in The Simpsons, Krusty Burgers are terrible, right? They're terrible. So is it supposed to be terrible? Like, is this actually just on brand for being terrible? It might be, right? And, well, if it is supposed to be terrible to be on brand, they got it 100% right, because it was terrible. Oh, man. After that, we went to Mario Land, which I was, like, very excited about, and this is another thing that I get to rant with Scar about. I was excited about Mario Land until we got there and realized that the only way to experience Mario Land was to pay more. So not only was it $120 per person for the day, and $25 for a chocolate egg, and etc., etc., but now you get to Mario Land and you have to pay more? Now, don't get me wrong. I understand kind of why, because it is amazing. When you get there, you walk into a place that has been transformed into basically a Mario Nintendo game. It's quite incredible to see. It's just like a giant dome, I guess, without a roof. That is just Mario everywhere, right? Like the landscape is Mario. You can see the creatures walk. I don't know how to explain it. Maybe I can get a picture of it. Yeah, it's a tough pill to swallow because, you know that it probably costs tens of millions to make, right? This is kind of what it looks like, right? It probably costs like millions to make, right? And it really is very, very impressive when you go in there. Yeah, here's a good shot of it. It's very, it's very impressive when you're in there. Very impressive indeed. But I just don't know if you can justify charging more. And it wasn't like $5 or something, you know? I think it was $40 per person to unlock Mario World for you. So you go there as a family of 5, right? That's cost you like $600. And now they want another $200 for the whole family to unlock Mario World. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I understand capitalism, and I understand that this park needs to make money to run. Thousands of employees, insane amounts of maintenance that has to be done all the time. I get it, right? I get it. But I don't know. I don't know. Expecting like that much more on top of the already like pretty expensive ticket price, whew, man, that's asking a lot, you know? So unfortunately we declined and we didn't do it. I mean, I broke the sus sand. I was out of money at that point anyway, so I was quite grateful that that's where we were going to end the Universal Studios experience. But yeah, I guess they were paying for the Nintendo license, I guess. Yeah, true, because it's not a Warner Brothers product. So, but on the other hand, isn't it just amazing advertising for Nintendo? Like, you know, to have like their own place at Universal Studios. Is this not an amazing bit of advertising? Like, why should Universal pay them anything? If anything, Nintendo should be paying Universal. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, unfortunately left us with a slight sour taste in the mouth after that. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm going to give customer feedback to Universal Studios, I'm going to say that. Also, Nintendo World is like at the very bottom of the park. You have to take these massive escalators all the way down to the bottom. It takes like 15 minutes to get there, you know? And by the time you get there, you're like, this is the boss of the park, right? This is the final boss of the park. This is so awesome. It's Mario. We all love Mario. This is going to be so epic. And you've walked all the way there, and you can see, right? They tactfully chose to put it at the end of the park. So you walk all the way there. By the time you get there, you're like, oh, well, we came all this way. We might as well just pay, right? That's the psychology behind it. And I don't know, man. That feels kind of, as customer feedback, like that's kind of rough, man. You know? Right, what does Cub want? What's Cub up to? Okay. Well, Cub's doing something here. And we got a Cherry raid coming in. Hey, Cherry, how you doing, baby? What's up? What's up? 3 chances to win. Okay, excellent. By the way, Cherry, I saw your blue axolotl top on Twitter. So stinking awesome. How awesome is that merch? Oh my goodness. Awesome. It looks so awesome. Such a great color and shape and stuff too, you know? So cool. Okay. Oh, Cub's putting up some pottery shards? Okay, the task. Yes. We got a Martin raid coming in too. We got double raid action happening here. Hey, Martin, what's up, my friend? There's so much going on right now, guys. My brain is melting. My brain is melting. Cub's talking to me. Cherry's talking to me. Martin's talking to me. I can't do this. Slay you with the mace. Okay. And I get these shirts. And I get these shirts for slayage. Now I gotta pick a favorite. Martin, don't do this to me. You can't do me dirty like that. Oh my goodness. 1 attempt per 4 shards. Okay. From where? From where? Okay, I get 3 attempts. Is it from up here? There's too much going on, people. My brain is melting. Thank you, Cherry. Thank you, Martin, for the raid, guys. Oh, from up there? Okay. I can do this. I can do this. Wait. This is some Cub Fan trickery happening, isn't it? Am I gonna die? Hi, Cub. Okay. Ready? Right, we gotta try kill Cub with this thing. Okay, here we go. I think he's gonna try and move around, like, as we bounce off of him, right? Okay, here we go. Okay. That's 1 miss. That's 1 miss. That's 1. It's because I'm nervous, man. I got my friends raiding me and watching me right now. I'm nervous. This is your fault, Martin. Look what you've done to me. You've broken my brain hole. Okay, hold on. Here we go. He called it a rain rod. He called it a rain rod. People, this is outrageous. Attempt number 2. Wait, it's getting further away. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Hup. Got him. Sweet. Okay, so that's 1 down. Cub Fan was slain by Ren the dog using Ren Rod. Success. Yes. Okay, final 1. Final 1. All right, this one's for Cherry and the awesome Cherry Fire Aqua Axolotl merch. Is it actually merch, Cherry, or is it just like something that you made for yourself? Either way, it's awesome. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, here we go. 3rd and final attempt. Hup. Got him! And we get his head too. Double head, double kill. Nice. Sweet. That was fun. 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 The splat is satisfying. Awesome. Oh, I get both of these. Nice. Thank you, Cub. Thanks, dude. That's awesome. Hold on. I'm going to just clear some of the inventory. Thank you, brother. Nice. Splattersfying. Indeed. Splattersfying. Okay. Right. Cherry says, it's merch. It's a custom one I got for being in MCCR. Awesome. Awesome. Here we go. Awesome, Cherry. That's so great. Guys, if you are an MCC fan and a Cherry Fire fan, I would highly recommend going and checking out this merch because it is awesome. Thank you for the raid. We've been talking about my trip to America for the last 3 hours. We had a little photo show. You guys missed it though. I can take it. Shall we do a very quick re-photo show for Martin and Cherry? Okay, here we go. This is going to be a rapid fire tour of my family trip to Northern California. Here we go. Here was me on the Heathrow Express, ready to fly to California. This was the first time I saw Northern California. This was the Redwood National Park on our way to Trinidad in Northern California. We got another raid from Rusty Courage. Rusty Courage, dude. I'm in the middle. Okay, here we go. This was the Redwood Forest in California. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely amazing. Awesome. This was our next stop, which was Trinidad in Northern California. This was one of the beaches, the main beach on Trinidad. This was one of the rocks on the beach. Yo, Rusty Courage, what's up, dude? Thank you for the raid. Everybody, I cannot keep up with all of this madness. We have just been raided by Cherry Fire, raided by Martin, and done a Cub Fan challenge at the same time. My brain is melting. Let me just have a sip of this beverage. Wait. What's up, Rusty? What's up, dude? It's an Aqua Axolotls raid. Very nice. Thank you, Rusty. Okay, we're going to have to start again, because the stream tonight has been me telling the tale of my family trip to California, so I'm going to have to take you guys through it from beginning to end, but in quick fashion, okay? So here we go. Here's me on the Heathrow Express, very grumpy because I've been traveling for like 3.5 hours just to get to the airport in England. I live in a small town in England, so it takes me forever to get to the airport. This is the face of Grump. This was my first view of Northern California as we were circling San Francisco. I landed in San Francisco. We spent a couple of days in San Francisco, which was amazing. And then from San Francisco, we went all the way up north to a town called Trinidad. We drove through the Redwood Highway, which is driving through redwood trees that are, some of them are over 2,000 years old and are absolutely magnificent. And we took a couple of walks through the Redwood Forest, which was absolutely amazing. Saw some very incredible bits of nature, including some really beautiful ancient trees that took my breath away and reminded me of how short my life is, because these trees are like, you know, ridiculously old. We have another raid coming in from Tivy Caps. People, can we stop with the raids, please? I'm trying to get through the TLDR of my trip to America, and now we have to start again because Tibbs has raided us once again on top of a raid from Rusty Courage and a raid from Martin and a raid from Cherry. People, is this how you treat a man who has just recovered from travel sickness and is wanted to come and scratch sand to relax during the stream? Is this how you treat a man who needed to chill this evening? You're melting my brain, people. Jeez. Thank you, Tibby Camps, for the raid. Appreciate it. Well, guys, I guess we're starting again. Go all the way back to the beginning for Tibbs. Tibbies, people from Tibbs, I went on holiday with my family to Northern California, and this is the very quick version of what went down. I had to take a 3.5-hour journey to get to Heathrow Airport. This is me on the train being grumpy. This is my very first view of Northern California just before I landed in San Francisco. In San Francisco, we had a wonderful time taking trams and eating very expensive chocolate and ice cream. It was wonderful. From San Francisco, we took a drive through giant 2,000-year-old trees to get to a little town called Trinidad on the coast of Northern California. And we took a couple of walks through some already immaculate and ancient forests, which 100% blew my mind and were amazing. This tree in particular called to me as it glowed as if it had some sort of neon blood as I was walking through the forest. It was awesome, as did this tree. It was literally looking like this when I came across it as we were going to cross this bridge. The sun was shining through a canopy and set this tree on fire, basically. Amazing stuff. This is an example of one of the super old trees. This one is estimated at over 2,000 years old, almost 30 feet high, or 30 stories high, excuse me. Some of these trees get to almost 400 feet high, which is absolutely insane. This is our next stop. It was Trinidad Beach, or the town of Trinidad, where we stayed, and this was the main beach. If I were to live in America, this is exactly where I would live. As we can see, an incredible Minecraft biome going on over here. We have spruce taiga meeting desert, which is a biome that I had never seen in real life before, and this was a really beautiful part of the country that I absolutely loved. As you can see, amazing, breathtaking environment, and there is me looking over the ocean, wishing that I could afford to live in Northern California, because the most expensive place that I've ever been in my entire life. Sunset on the beach with my family was our last day there in Trinidad before we set off on our journey to Yosemite Valley, which is a very famous national park in Northern California, where you have just the most incredible landscapes to behold, going from 6,000 feet at the top to about 2,000 feet at the bottom, going up and down, hiking, going all the way to the top, hiking all the way to the bottom, driving all the way from the top all the way to the bottom, and just enjoying some incredible scenery that my eyeballs had never truly imagined. In fact, I did believe that I didn't believe this particular view that I saw, because this to me looks like a CGI view from a video game or something. This is generated in, like, I don't know, GTA 7 or something. I mean, this is real life, and was just truly breathtaking at every corner. We went to the famous waterfall there and got a picture of the rainbow, and from Yosemite, went all the way down to Pismo Beach. Is it Pismo Beach? I've forgotten the name of the stupid name. Stupid beach. Very famous beach along Pimlico. I don't even know the name of the stupid beach. Very famous beach. And it was a very beautiful beach indeed. And well, after that, we drove all the way to Los Angeles, where I spent a little bit of time with my brother Jono, who lives there, and we went to Universal Studios, where I got very sick on the Harry Potter ride, but then recovered after eating a Krusty the Clown burger, and then enjoying a great time on the original Universal Studios tour, where I experienced the flooding of the subway, which was probably my highlight of Universal Studios. It was fantastic. Oh, and by the way, I had to pay like $25 for a stupid chocolate frogs at Harry Potter Land. So yeah. Whew. And then I went home. And that was that. By the way, Urban Beach, thank you for the 4 months. Jassy, thank you for the 3 months. This is Tay, thank you for the 3 months. Nuno, the kit is with the gifted sub to Rusty. And thank you to Bobville for the 14 months too, and Bornholm with the 5 months. Winterbin with the 19. It's my with the 3 months. And a whole bunch of biddies from a whole bunch of people. Guys, thank you so much, everybody. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Whew, man. Well, guys, I mean, we have scratched a lot of dirt this evening. And we even won some shards from Cub, which is nice. Let us take a tally of all the shardage that we actually managed to collect tonight. I feel like this is way more than I anticipated, if I'm honest. I didn't think we were going to get this much shard action, but I'm not complaining. I'll definitely take it. The reason that we went shard hunting today is because we have the Pots and Sherds permit, and I have a sneaky suspicion the Popo are eyeballing my permit and they're going to take it from me unless I can get the shop up and running. So in order to do that, I need... Also, Elytra's basically broken, so that's not good. We need stock, right? What I need to work out is what I'm going to be charging the hermits for these sherds. I mean, they are a pain in the butt to collect, right? I'm thinking like 16 diamonds a sherd, minimum. Maybe more. Thing is, if we make them too expensive, then they just won't bother. But I think 16 diamonds a sherd is pretty fair. What do you guys think? There we go. Okay, so this is our loot for the session. We even got a sniffer egg out of this, which is good. We need another one, though, so that we can breed them. Sniffers might actually be pretty good for our biome, right? For our custom biome. Solid Water, see you again soon, dude. Urban Beach, thank you for the 4 months in a row, by the way. Appreciate it. 12 diamonds? Yeah, 12 diamonds. 12 or 16, somewhere around there seems good. Right, let's have a look at the sherds. I want 4 of every sherd to open the shop, right? And how many sherds are there, guys? Do you guys know how many different types of sherds there are? Oh, there's different rarities of them, says Bayo. Okay, interesting. Oh, wait, who said that? Stack of diamonds for 1 sherd, says Bayo. Maybe for the rare ones, right? A lot? Does anybody know the number? The exact number of individual sherds there are? Yo, CRD, you got to head out. Thank you for hanging tonight and for the support. Appreciate it as always, CRD. Have a great rest of your weekend. 20 according to the wiki. Okay, so 20 is going to be this much, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we're still missing 9. 9 different sherd types. 10 different sherd types, actually. Yeah, we've got all 3 from the trial chambers. Yikes. Guys, that's pretty crazy. We haven't done this one yet, have we? Wait, what? Where are the sherds for this one? Oh, we did it here. Oh, there's still some to scratch, though. Hold on. Okay, well, I guess we've got to do this a couple more times on stream. Are you guys up for some more sand scratching on stream? If this has been really boring, though, then I'll just do this off camera. Anyway, big welcome to all of the raids. I'm not sure if I've ever been raided that many times in such a short succession. I've certainly not been raided 3 times and have been interacting with a Cub Fan at the same time. That certainly never happened before. That was all just absolute chaos. Nice chill vibes. Yes, indeed. I mean, I wish I could tell you more about my trip, but that's pretty much it. I feel like I've spent... I mean, how long have I been telling you about the trip, guys? Jeez, that was like a... I feel like it took me 3 hours to get through that trip. Ooh, this is a bigger one. Check it out. Sometimes they have... this is like an extended one. This is... We didn't get this extended section tonight. This is the first time we've got the gravel bit inside of the temple. Is it sleepy time? We were raided 4 times? Goodness. Oh wait, that's just regular gravel? I'm pretty sure I've seen this before, though. Oh, I lost my shulker box with the brushes and potions in them. That's so annoying. I think I got another brush in here, though. Oh, you reckon this is outside the temple, so it's just regular gravel? Oh, you guys might be right. That is disappointing. Oh, it's just a little gravel patch. Aw. Okay, it's not a thing. There's a rare sherd in Desert Wells. I mean, we have yoinked a lot of Desert Wells today. Did we get the rare sherd from the Desert Well? I don't know. Guster is from the Trial Chambers, as is Scrape. These are the ones that we got today. Yeah, that is not suspicious gravel, unfortunately. Kind of bummed that I lost our other shulker box, to be honest. I do believe, though, that we have decimated this forest, this desert, rather, of all of its sherd potential, that's for sure. We've scratched every temple, every thing. What do you call it? The water. You know where you get the water thing? The well. The well. Let's see if we can find just one more. While we're searching, by the way, while we're searching, guys, one little bit of shilling to do, because I'm very excited to announce that the Ren Dog Minister of Ministers plush has been funded. Nice. Very, very nice. Guys, recently released on Makeship, 22 days to get the Ren Dog Minister of Ministers plush. This is, of course, us from the very beginning of the season when we were the Minister of Ministers out there in the neighborhood. And I asked Makeshift to make us a plush version of ourselves, which is amazing, and it is super cool. By the way, if you missed the first Ren Dog plushie, which will never be made again, this plushie is kind of like the first edition Ren Dog in that I asked Makeshift to also include black glasses. So if you take off the hat and you put the black glasses on, you basically get the first edition of Ren Dog. However, this edition has a bit of Velcro on the top to hold the hat, so it's not an exact copy of the first edition. So the first edition is still unique. But this is a way to kind of get a pseudo first edition of Ren Dog, the plush, if that is indeed what you desire. But very cool. By the way, also Makeshift doing a deal for multiple plushies. And the great news is we've got some other hermits that are a part of this too. Impulse, Skiz, ZF, and Corrales, of course. And if you pick us all up, or a combination of us up, you'll get some money off for that too. So definitely worth checking out if plushies are your thing, and especially if hermit plushies are your thing, because quite a few of them. We're going to be playing in some sort of a makeshift Minecraft event at the end of the month, by the way, guys. I don't know anything about it. It's was put together by like the POW team, I think, and it's going to be like some really cool Twitch Rivals type deal. So looking forward to that at the end of the month. That's going to be pretty sweet. But yeah, if you have picked up a plushie, I see some of you guys in chat have ordered them. Thank you very, very much for the support. Goes a very long way to support me. Makeshift are quite generous with their commissions. However, we'll need to hit 400 sales if we get the 40. I think it's 40% or something. There's like they have like thresholds for commission. So I'm hoping that over the course of the month we can get to 400, and then that'll help to refill the bank account after my my trip to California. Yo, Urban Beach, thank you for the 4 months, by the way. I don't know if I called you out, but thank you. All in all, though, guys, I must say I had a wonderful time in America. What a fantastic country. I loved it. I was treated so well there. You Californians are so nice and so kind. And, man, a part of me wishes that I had I'd spent some time living in America when I was younger. Just because there's just so much there. So much to see, so much to do. So much awesomeness that I've missed out on. I think I might be a little bit too old now to move to America, unfortunately. And on top of that, I really love England. So I'm not sure if America has appealed to me enough to give up on England, but I certainly there's a part of me that wishes that I had perhaps spent 3 or 4 years living in America and experiencing it that way. But I guess I just have to come visit you guys, hey? I just have to visit America a lot. I've been suggested that my next trip should be down the East Coast this time around, so a drive from like Boston to Florida, which I think would be pretty cool. But what I would really like to do, I think I would like to do Montana and like the mountain areas, because the parts of California that I really loved was like the mountainy bits. And I think I'd like to do like Montana and Colorado and all of those really cool places. And then I would really like to go to Texas and to Cowboy Land for sure. And go have a barbecue with Iron. Iron, I don't know if you're still watching, but yeah. Got to have a barbecue with you sometime, my friend. I need to come visit you sometime. Hannah says, come to Philly. Guys, I can't go everywhere, okay? Jeez, I've got limited funds. Every time I go to America, it's going to cost me an arm and a leg. Yo, JT, thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Appreciate it. Kimmer says, go to Yellowstone. Yeah, I gotta go. I mean, there's so many places, right? Still need to go and do a whole bunch of Europe also, you know. Europe is also an amazing place. So many amazing things to see in Europe too. Would I ever do a TwitchCon? I used to do them before lockdown. I probably would. Maybe I'll try to do the next one. Like, False always goes to them, and it would be cool to, like, go to a TwitchCon with False, I think. That would be really cool. But, I don't know, TwitchCons are, like, kind of weird. For me, anyway. I feel like there's parts of the TwitchCon that I don't really like that much. Although, I'm not sure if it's still the same. The last TwitchCon I went to was a very, very long time ago. And, at the end of, like, after the con, there was, like, an after party at, like, a club. I think this was in Cologne, I think. And it was like open bar, right? So there was a whole bunch of like of young partners just with like 4 beers in each hand, just getting absolutely wrecked. And I was like, man, this is not my vibe, you know? So I don't know if TwitchCon is still like that or not. But if it's just like a frat party, then I'm not really interested, you know? Sounds like a club in Europe. Maybe it was a Europe thing, not like a TwitchCon thing, you know? Maybe it was a Europe thing. Oh, man. I would like to do some more conventions and stuff, though. It's been a long time, and I really miss, like, meeting fans. You know, lockdown really killed all of that stuff, and it's a damn shame, because I used to really love meeting you guys. It was so cool. Hopefully we can get back into it. Hey, Hello Animations, thank you for the biddies, and for watching and listening the whole time. And thanks to everybody else who has been sitting here with me this entire evening. Speaking of which, it is almost stinking midnight, people. We should probably... It's probably bedtime, right? It's probably bedtime. Let's just sleep the night away here real quick. Anyway, for those of you guys who maybe came in late, I will be putting this up onto the YouTube Raindog TV channel. For those of you who missed the tales of my trip to America, I'll relog it for you guys. Wait, how do you take hitboxes away again, guys? My brain is... Wait, F3? Guys, how do you get rid of hitboxes? I'm still trying to remember how to play this damn game. F3B, that's the one. Okay, there we go. Yes, VOD will be up on the YouTubes if you missed it, and I'll send you over there. Guys, gonna send you over to False, who's been... Wow, False has just been grinding Vault Hunters, I think, for quite a long time now. She's probably going to end her stream soon, but I'm going to send you over there anyway. Wait, what is this little green thing? Guys, what's this little green icon on Twitch? What is this? What is this? Knock to ask False Symmetry to collaborate. What? Is this a new Twitch thing? You can, like, officially collab with people? Oh, that's pretty cool. Oh, cool. Okay, I got to try that out. Once I get my voice stuff working again. Moderators, thank you for looking after this super long stream. Everybody, thank you for listening to me ramble on about a holiday for 3 hours. Someone telling you about a holiday is never that interesting. It's not really that interesting to me anyway, but yeah. If you did find it interesting, thank you for listening. And a big thank you to all of the subs and the resubs today, guys. Absolutely insane, as always. Pushing us up over that 850 subscriber mark, which is just awesome. Our goal on this channel is 750. So anything over 750 is just icing on the top. And thank you to all of you guys who are very generous to me this evening. I appreciate you all very, very much. Let's head over to False Symmetry. Send us some love from me. And we'll see you guys all in the next stream, which is probably going to be on Le Monday. Or something like that. Thanks for the raid, Martin and Cherry and Tibbs and everybody else who raided. Appreciate you all muchly. And we'll see you again soon. Bye, guys.